What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk, baby. Let's go. Live, that is. All right, guys. Yes. Yes, we back for round two. We back for round two. That's right. Let me see who's in the room real quick, guys, before we jump into it. And before I even do that, smash the like, smash that share, put it out there. Let the haters know we out here having fun. Just playing, guys. Just playing. But for real, smash that like, smash the share, help get it out there. Anybody new showing up, whether it's live or replay, smash that subscribe, help your boy grow this channel. All right, now let me jump over to chat, see who's in here. Let me see who's in here. Hindsight's good to see you. Kathy Blanks. Oh, let me see what you just said, Kathy. Number 2, unbelievable. Wow, ma'am. No, it's not unbelievable at all. I ain't slowing down. We're just getting started. We are just getting started over here. Yeah, we ain't slowing down for nobody. Oh yeah, I mean, I came in vented earlier. I got it out. We talked, as a community, and ain't nothing slowing this train down, baby. It's just not happening. All right, who else I got? Let me see who else I got. All right, Sassy7, good to see you. Julie Dell, Mom, good to see you. Pat Gaines, good to see you. Jeannie Ange, good to see you, man. Lindley, good to see you. All right, well, that's all I got in chat right now, but there's more of you in here. Good to see everybody that's in the bushes. Criminal Med, good to see you. All right, guys. All right. Hey, real quick, too, before we jump into this, right? Murdaugh, the retrial. We're going to cover the press conference. We're going to cover the co-author, interview with the co-author from, the book, right? The whole book that's supposed to be what, manipulated the jury. We'll get into it. So, and then if we get far enough into it, guys, we might do a little Buster Murdaugh body language breakdown on his interview if we get far enough. And then also, too, we're going to look at the newest interview with Murdaugh's lawyers to see what they have to say, a little bit more recently. But yeah, guys, let me see who's in chat. Let me see if I missed anybody. Huntress, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, same thing goes for you. I mean, you know what I mean? I know your government name too. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Joanne Kernan, good to see you, ma'am. All right, I think I got everybody. All right, I just want to say real quick too, thank you all for the love and the support earlier today. I appreciate it. And then I had a message from Rooster. Rooster said, thank you for all the love. He appreciates it too. All the love in the comments that you guys were giving him, all the love in chat. He appreciates it big time. We literally just got off the phone, had a little, we had a little powwow on where the channel's going. We got some big things planned. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I can say right now, guys. We get to the memberships. Oh, we got some big things planned. But he sends his appreciation and love. You guys rock. All right, let's get into it. Let me cue up this first video I got for us. And it's that press conference where they dropped this bomb that there may be jury tampering, right? You just doxed yourself. I know, right? I know. It's not hard to figure out who somebody is, really, dude. That's why I'm like an open book anyways. It's like, whatever. You're going to figure out who I am anyways if you really want to dig. Let's see. Who else do I have? I just got to switch through here real quick, make sure I got everybody. Criminal Meg, good to see you. If I didn't already say it, I'm not sure if I could. Man, I see you guys twice a day now, so sometimes I'll be forgetting. Your trolls already know your name, Huntress. All right. That's good stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. So let's get into this. I don't know how many of you guys watched the press conference, but we're going to rewatch it. We're going to listen to it. And then, like I said, we're going to listen to, Becky Hill's co-author, which is, the lady in the court that might have did some jury tampering. And then after that, we're going to listen to Murdaugh's lawyers from a recent interview, and then if we have time, we're gonna do a little behavior panel on the little Buster Murdaugh. But let's jump into. Oh wait! Is there more people coming in? Devlogs, good to see you. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's jump into this. One's a chat if you can hear it.
Wait a minute, where are they facing? So like this? Okay. That good? All right. Okay, so. Push the button. Yeah, button. What? Push the button. Yeah. So I'm going to read a statement. Jim Griffin will have a couple words to say, and then we'll answer questions. Today, Jim Griffin and I filed a petition based.
Can I get some ones in chat, y'all? Ones in chat, just to make sure. I want to make sure you guys are hearing this. Before I start stopping and interjecting things and whatnot, fair use style. Barely, Kathy Blanks. I know. I'm gonna figure out how to get an audio booster on this. I don't have one. I'm working on it. Too low. I know. You're gonna have to bear with me on it. Can you guys hear it at all? You can hear it. I think it gets a little bit louder as he starts getting into it. So just bear with me, guys.
Based on newly discovered evidence with the South Carolina Court of Appeals to stay Alec Murdaugh's appeal while a hearing is held on a motion for a new trial. Concurrently, we've sent a request to the South Carolina U.S. Attorney to open a federal investigation into the violation of Alec Murdaugh.
1 minus. Yeah. That's funny. 1 minus. You got good headphones? I got good. My headphones, I can hear it great, but I know it's still a little low. But I don't, like I said, guys, I literally have it maxed out. I'll do my best on looking at a way to boost the audio on all these videos that we got. I just don't have the capabilities right now. So just bear with me. Listen close.
Civil rights. The allegations in the petition filed today speak for themselves, but we believe they explain a number of peculiarities in the 6-week trial. We requested SWED to stand down on initiating any investigation of these allegations since they are heavily invested in maintaining Alex's convictions. We suggest they wait for the Court of Appeals to rule and receive direction from the trial court. If the Court of Appeals remands the case for an evidentiary hearing, if the Court of Appeals remands the case for an evidentiary hearing, we would also request that those in the media and the public respect the privacy of those included in this filing. Jim and I want to thank those on our team who stand behind us and have worked tirelessly to ferret out the truth. Alex Murdaugh maintained and still maintains his innocence in the murder of Maggie and Paul and believes the truth will ultimately prevail. Jim?
The right to a jury trial is a fundamental principle of our justice system. Jurors must be free from outside influences and must decide the case solely on the evidence presented in the courtroom, subject to the rules of evidence, subject to the rules of the court, and most importantly, subject to the crucible of cross-examination that's guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment to the Constitution, and that is the right to confront witnesses. When jurors receive private communications outside the confines of a public courtroom, the Sixth Amendment is violated and numerous other constitutional rights are violated. And that's not Jim Griffin on the law. That is the law of the land. And I want to quote.
Did he just refer to himself like that? Are you? Come on, guys. Let me see who else. Did I miss anybody in chat? Did anybody slide in on me while I was paying attention? Lanessa Boo, good to see you. All right, I think I'm caught up. Yes, Lindley, couldn't have said it better. High-priced mouthpieces, 100%, ma'am. All right, let me see some things. Oh my Lord, you know what, guys? This one's, like I said already, we're covering this, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a retrial. But like I said, I want to cover all this with you guys, and then we can come together and figure it out. Steph V, good to see y'all. Good to see you. I almost said good to see y'all. reading your message. Yeah. What do you think of the county clerk? We're gonna get into that criminal med. We're getting into all that. I got a couple videos that we're gonna watch. We're gonna get into it all. We're gonna see what we feel like at the end of this live, like we usually do. As of right now, it sounds like she's pretty guilty. It sounds like she's guilty of something, of a little bit of something, and it might just be a little bit enough something for a retrial. It just might be. So, Polly Waffle, good to see you, ma'am. Let's see who else we got. We got everybody. Let me see and make sure I got all the. Let me make sure I got all the comments and questions. I think I got everything. What did Darcy, tell me what you said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore you. Are you talking to me? Did I ignore you? I'll try to keep up with chat. I apologize. Shoot me the question again, Darcy. I'm not avoiding it. You know me, I like questions. Why would I avoid it? It just gets tricky because I got to pan from the chat to the video over to this other chat because on StreamYard, I can't see certain things that I can see over on the YouTube one. I didn't say hi. I'm sorry. I think because we've been communicating kind of through chats and all that, I apologize, man. How are you doing? It is good to see you. Thank you for being here. Heart. Big heart. Big heart. I'm seeing you, Sassy. I said hi, right? I said hi, Sassy. Didn't I say hi? I could have swore I said hi. Well, hi, man. Yo, I apologize, guys. Chat's starting to get lit faster in the live now. You're just razzing me. Yo, why you gonna be razzing me? Darcy, why you gonna be razzing me? Back row Becky, good to see you, miss. Man, I love you guys. Let's get into this. Too much. Y'all too much.
From a decision from the South Carolina Court of Appeals, which is behind me, and states this: where there is a private communication of a court official to members of the jury, an occurrence which cannot be tolerated if the sanctity of the jury system is to be maintained. A new trial must be granted unless it clearly appears that the subject matter of the communication was harmless and could not have affected the verdict. What we had filed today.
What he's about to say today is she definitely was jury tampering. Because what he's about to tell you all, if you haven't already heard it, is definitely jury tampering. Proceed, sir.
Supported by sworn testimony of jurors, is that the clerk of court had improper private communications with the jurors, and the subject matter of those communications was the credibility of the defense that the Murdaugh legal defense team put up, and it was a believability of the defendant's own testimony.
And the only problem with that is that's kind of true, though, right? We all kind of feel the same way if we watch this, right? You watch the trial, she kind of right. She was kind of right. You know what I mean? She was kind of right. I know she's not supposed to be telling them that, but it was kind of dead on.
Now, there's been a lot of talked about whether Alex should have taken the stand. I can assure you, when we considered what factors and what we should and should not do and considered whether he should take the stand, we never considered the likelihood, as reported to us by the jurors, that the clerk of court would go in to the sanctity of the jury room before he testified.
These are big allegations.
Jurors, don't be fooled by his testimony. Watch out for his body language. And that is what the sworn testimony that we have filed in court today says.
Oh, she can't do that. She can't do that. She was telling the truth, but she can't be doing that. Right, Vanessa Boo? Of all the trials to do this in and mess up. Literally, are you serious right now? I truly think we're going to see a retrial, guys. I'm just going to say that now. We're going to watch all this stuff, but I think we're going to see a retrial. And I think he's going to be convicted again. But, oh my goodness, could you imagine if there's a retrial and he doesn't get convicted? Oh my Lord. It would be It'd be crazy. I mean, he still has the the financial crimes and whatnot, but still, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Only in the low country. Only in the low country.
Which we have every reason to believe that it is, and no reason to believe that it's not. There's no choice but the courts to grant a new trial.
Thank you. Any questions? No? Okay.
Right.
Well, I think we observed it. We did. No, yeah. I was there. I watched it, but I mean, look, we were not looking to impute any nefarious conduct, but clearly, what the jurors reported to us that they were off talking, the forelady and the
Stop the press. Miss Donna Clark's here. Good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you.
clerk. I saw them together, but I wasn't watching. I believe. Look, I've been doing this almost 50 years.
Couldn't tell.
The bedrock of any trial, and I've done hundreds of them, is that the clerk of court is.
How many of you? Give me a one. Give me a one in chat if you guys watched this trial. Did you guys watch this trial? I want to see who watched this trial. Please give me a one in chat if you watched this trial. I just want to see who watched it because I don't think you could find a more theatrical performance than this gentleman right here in the courtroom. Him and cousin Eddie. Okay, most of you. I figure most of you. Hi, True Seeker. Good to see you. I figure most of y'all watched it. But would you agree you would not find another a man more theatrical, in my opinion, anyways, in the courtroom? Watching this trial was like watching a movie, right? And the only thing it was missing is an appearance by cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie, oh my lord, and this gentleman right here in front of us, they're out of central casting, guys. They're literally out of central casting for a movie. I've seen it. But literally, this dude could retire and like act in movies. Let's keep going.
The person that makes sure the jury gets their food. It's if they're put up for the night, someplace to stay. Their travel accommodations are met. They're not someone that ever should talk to them about the case. I've never had it happen. Again, I've been doing this for a very long time. Never heard of it happening until this case.
And one thing we want everyone to understand that the clerk of court is an elected official by the people, not appointed by the judge, not appointed by the judiciary. It's a public official who's elected and is an independent state actor. And so what we're complaining about in the motion that we filed today is the conduct of an elected official, not conduct by Judge Newman or anybody in the unified court system.
And I think it's important also to understand that she is a state actor, and that's why we forwarded today a letter to the U.S. Attorney asking them to open an investigation into the violation of Alec Murdaugh's civil rights by a state actor under color of state law.
Oh, you almost made me choke, Lindley, with that one. That is the truth.
This is an interesting story. Let Jim tell you.
So immediately in the aftermath of the verdict, we had received information that we needed to look into what happened in the jury room. We started down that road and we met a zone of silence. No jurors would speak to us. And so we were, what I like to call, we were given the Heisman, right? And then when the clerk of court wrote her book, published her book, that zone of silence collapsed. And jurors were upset about that.
Kate D, we're actually going to cover the interview. They did an interview with these guys there at CrimeCon, so we're gonna actually cover that in this live.
Ones we talked with, and they were more than willing to come forward and tell us the things that we had sort of heard through a whisper campaign. But and so as a result of that, we were able to interview some jurors. Now there's still a number of jurors who maintain that zone of silence, who have not talked to us. We did try to reach out to most all of them that we could get in touch with, but we, the information we got, I can tell you, was independent of each juror. The first juror we talked to we got information about Ms. Hill saying, "Don't be fooled." And then the second juror, independent of the first juror, says the same thing, and the third juror, independent of the other two, say the same thing. And so we're very confident that the information is accurate.
Well, what? Ask them. I mean, we don't have any control over that. We just did receive a notice from the Court of Appeals that the Attorney General has 10 days to respond to our motion. Okay. Now, I think what's interesting to me, again, having done this for so long, is that once we had that initial contact with that first juror, we began going around. We had a list and knocking on, literally on Sundays, knocking on jurors' doors, asking them to speak with us. Some of them wouldn't come out. Some of us told us never to come back, but some did, and some talked to us. I'll give you an example. And
Yo, Sassy Seven is saying that she can't see Donna Clark or KD. Just let you guys know that. That's what that's what I'm seeing Sassy say right now. Not sure if y'all got her blocked or what the deal is. Mr. Michigan, what's up, brother? I appreciate you being here, sir. Let's proceed. Let's proceed.
One of the things we heard was once the jury went out, even though there were 6 smokers and they were given smoke breaks during the entire.
Bro, like, is it? I just want to know, like, if these jurors are telling the truth or if they're mad about what he's about to say. Are they telling the truth or are they mad about? Just listen.
Trial. Once the jury went out, they were told no more smoke breaks. No, you're not.
Bro, you can't do that to smokers. You want some really angry people? You can't do that. Like, they could have just complied so they could just go smoke. That's a possibility. You can't do that. You can't. You just can't do that, man. And you can't tell them to, like, not believe somebody. Like, this lady, man. Why, lady? Why'd you do this to us? Like, I feel so let down. Like, I wanted that conviction so bad, and when it happened, I was like, yes. Ugh. And then when this came out, I was like, are you serious? Ugh.
You're gonna have to get a verdict first. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. Now that indicates something, and the court would be the one to communicate that. Why? So a bunch of folks told us stuff that appeared to be inconsequential, but in the total context indicated to us that what we put in this petition about the court.
So, Donna, you don't see Sassy either? Yeah, because Sassy's in here. Look, I just pinned a comment by Sassy. I don't know if you can see the pinned comments or not through StreamYard, but she's definitely in here. You might have to go to, like, her page and make sure I don't know if what if you guys accidentally blocked each other or something? Could happen, you know what I mean? There's a lot of you guys that are mods different places, so might have accidentally blocked somebody in another, chat. I don't know. That's a possibility. But yeah, Kate D, Sassy, and Donna Clark, y'all are in here together. I'm not sure who can see who.
Is credible, and based on sworn testimony from 2 jurors, and we interviewed a third. My paralegal, Holly Miller, has given you an affidavit or filed an affidavit on what she told us. A lot of these folks just don't want to get involved, but they're going to be involved if we get a hearing, because each and every one of them is going to have to testify in an open court before you as to what happened and what didn't happen. Wait, one at a time. Who?
It would appear that Judge Newman was at least aware of some of the allegations that you talked about in your motion. For example, the Facebook post with juror 785, and the judge actually said, "Oh boy, I'm not too pleased about the clerk interrogating a juror as opposed to coming to me and happening to me."
Well, and that's a good point. There's no suggestion that the judge did anything untoward. But what that does do is it comes back, he may end up being a witness. So, I mean, but until the Court of Appeals acts, that issue does not have to be dealt with.
But if the fact is that the court was aware of some of these issues but still didn't intervene, how concerned are you?
We don't know. We don't know that he didn't intervene. That's what I'm saying. He's a witness. We need to know.
Evidence is strong enough such that it could have changed the verdict had it been introduced in trial.
That's not the legal test. The legal test is the subject matter prejudicial to the defense. It's not would it have made a difference in the outcome. was the subject matter of the improper.
He took offense to that question. He took offense to that question. He starts doing the freaking thing. Oh my guy.
Conversation material to the defense. If it's immaterial, like what do
My
you want to have for
goodness.
dinner? Do you want to take a smoke break? Do you want to go home? Those are immaterial matters. But when the subject matter is and is reported under oath by these jurors, it was a direction on how you should receive Alec Murdaugh's testimony. You should look at him. Don't be fooled by him. That subject matter is absolutely material. That's the core of our defense. And that is something that we had no chance to defend against. And so we strongly believe if that evidence is accurate, and the law will require a new trial.
No comment.
Well, I can't talk
Bro, if you're so dead set she did it, why wouldn't you want her charged? No comment. No comment. What the heck, bro? Stand on it. Stand on it, buddy.
Client privilege information. I can tell you that when I shared with him the affidavits, he's a lawyer. He was astonished. He was shaking. He was in disbelief, and he thanked Mr. Harpootlian, Mr. Barber, and myself for spending our weekends on dirt roads in Colleton County.
And by the way, we've seen more of Colleton County on dirt roads, in places we're city boys, we didn't believe existed in this state, looking for folks that would talk to us. A lot of doors slammed in our face. A lot of doors slammed in our faces. I'm sorry? No comment. I'm sorry, what?
It's not something that happened very quickly. The fact that you guys are alleging it didn't exist at all and perhaps was conspired to be created to get this juror dismissed.
Yes.
That's a very serious allegation.
It's all serious. Everything we've alleged, everything in those affidavits is serious. This is a very serious matter.
It's serious, guys. It is very serious.
So
if you didn't know, it's serious.
See in the sworn testimony.
Did you know it's serious?
That's been filed today is Ms. Hill told the court that there was a Facebook post by this juror's ex-husband. The ex-husband has filed an affidavit saying, "I've never posted a Facebook post." Ms. Hill in her office says he must have deleted it. We can't find it. But they produced a Facebook post from someone with the same name apologizing for an earlier Facebook post and that Satan made him do it and et cetera, et cetera. And Ms. Hill related that as being this juror's ex-husband. Ms. Hill had this juror's ex-husband's photograph. You can match them up. They don't match. And what we do know, and we laid it out in detail in our brief, is that the apology Facebook post was posted, I think, on February 16th and said we had deleted it the day before, February 15th. Ms. Hill is telling Judge Newman on February 23rd that I just saw this Facebook post. Impossible. Impossible. We also have in there sworn testimony that Ms. Hill told this juror that
it don't sound very good for Ms. Hill right now. If these allegations are true, Ms. Hill might be in some trouble, y'all. On top of us seeing the retrial, she might be in some trouble.
SLED went out and confirmed with your ex-husband that he posted that. Not true, according to the sworn testimony.
And Phil Barber and I and Howie Miller's office went down and interviewed the ex-husband, and he allowed us to, I wouldn't know how to do it, but Phil did, to download his entire Facebook history. None of that is in there. So, I mean, again, we've done what we...
I'm just glad that I could let y'all know it's serious. That's all I'm saying. Because it's important. It's imperative at that you understand that this is serious.
We're not the police. You know, we have no way to compel anybody to talk to us or give us anything. We've asked very nicely. Now, I will say this. The two jurors that gave affidavits have an attorney, Joe McCullough, who was skulking around here a moment ago back there. So if you want to know about those two jurors, you may want to have a chat with him.
Yo, Donna Clark, that was a good one. That's a good one.
What?
Oh snap! I got the best community. You guys are
I
lit.
think they were upset with the way things went, and the clerk, I think they may very well. Well, yes, they're upset with the clerk. They're upset with the way this played out.
Are they regretting their vote?
Thank you, Miss Jeannie.
The Facebook post, the person who posted the original post, have you ever gotten an opportunity to speak with them?
No. I mean, the original post, we don't know whether it ever existed.
Oh shit!
But the apology post, did you speak with him, Phil?
No, we did not speak. Well, as you know, having talked to the FBI before, no.
It's seriously serious. It's seriously like that. You know what I mean?
They're not going to tell us anything.
Oh snap, guys! Oh shit!
Well, having anybody but Sled investigate it. Sled is very invested in this conviction. Well, the agent.
I wish I had some merch. I would drop that on a shirt or a sweatshirt. Dude, it's seriously serious. With like a gavel or something.
David Owens testified
Yo!
cross-examination by Jim.
I'm dead,
One,
guys.
He perjured himself in front of the grand jury. And two, he fabricated evidence. SLED made him this year's Law Enforcement Officer of the Year. So is that the agency that ought to be going to jurors? I don't think so. I think that the court, if this is remanded back, the trial court should pick somebody else. If the FBI is not doing it, then there are plenty. There's the sheriff's departments. There are other folks, not Carlton County, but other sheriff's departments.
Pat Gaines. Some would say that it seriously sucks, man. I'm sorry, guys. I can't help it. I can't help it. Oh.
Anyway. There may not be any reason to go out and interview them. They may just put a subpoena on and bring them to court.
Oh my Lord.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's something that would happen if we get the hearing that we've requested. That's why we've requested the hearing, so that we get subpoena power and we can get some subpoena, not just individuals come to court, jurors come to court, witnesses come to court, but subpoena records, phone records, for example, emails, for example. I mean, so with a hearing, we have a broad array of assets at our disposal to bring evidence to court. Right now, we've got nothing except Dick's Mercedes and
Sassy, that is fine. I'll accept that. I'll take that any day.
Roads in Carlton County. No, we've not had any juror contradict anything what the other jurors are saying. What you saw in some of the affidavits is the jurors were separated in two rooms and sort of broke up from, guys in one room, gals in another room. I don't know if that was appropriate. Men in one room, females in another room. And so the comments that we've gotten on the sworn affidavits come from the ladies' room, if you will, more so than the men's room. But we do have information that we submitted from one juror where he does acknowledge that she talked to him about evidence, about autopsy photos, and don't be upset about them. I mean, that should not be happening. That should not be happening.
Oh my Lord.
And this juror is a smoker, and he relayed to us basically the coercive effect of people who have a nicotine habit not able to smoke
until they reach a
verdict. And so that's what we got.
Wait a second. Yeah. Do what now? Yeah, I mean, I'll read it for you.
That's a good question, Donald Clark. I don't know why. It's not supposed to be like that. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. It sounds like Miss Becky Hill got some explaining to do. She definitely got some explaining to do. That's what I am hearing. Yeah, they're good at that. They're good at that, Pat. They're definitely good at that. In court, it was so bad. Then during the trial, dude, they were so smug and arrogant. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. For real. It seems like that. It's like, damn smokers. She manipulated the damn smokers. My client's guilty now. What the hell?
After we get done with this, but I don't think I ought to keep all these folks doing that. Well, you gotta get a new trial before you get there, and that's not something we're going to talk about today. And yes, ma'am. We don't. Well, we know some of the statements were made in front of the jurors in the one jury room. Now, understand that I think there were only 6 jurors in that room.
That's so weird.
Or maybe 8. I'm not sure, but
why do they split them up?
Not all the jurors would have been present for all the statements. Clearly, they were given.
See, I don't like the way it sounds because it's like, man, I don't know how I feel about it. Sounds like she's guilty as, all get out, but at the same time, if you don't have like all the jurors in the same room hearing the same thing, all the jurors that they're talking to, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is gonna be a tricky one. I feel bad for the judge. He's gotta have to roll on this. I wonder if Judge Newman's gonna get to roll on this, or if he's gonna be retired before this, or if it's gonna go before him or not. I need to know that.
Yes, ma'am.
So we didn't stop investigating, but we were hitting brick walls until her book came out, and then jurors who obviously were not comfortable with how she handled matters were even less comfortable with her going on a book tour and making money off what she did. That's what was reported to us.
She has said her book is self-published. That really doesn't sound like somebody who's going to make money.
True, Donna. Very true.
Well, she's trying to make a lot of money. That's the point. I mean, she's trying to make money off of it. She's selling the book. I mean, the question is, was it a successful scheme?
See, this is why next we're going to listen to the co-author, Becky's co-author, give an interview with our boy Vinny. I like Vinny. And yeah, we're going to hear a little bit of defense on Becky's side.
I don't know. I mean, if you've read it, I'm not going to give a book review here, but I don't know that you buy the book.
Ooh.
It's not well written.
Here's the thing, though. Is I heard that it's not well written either from other people. And the funny thing is it's still sold a bunch. Still a ton of people read it because they want to know, they want the insight on what's going on with this. So either way, it was like a win for her.
The story she tells.
I mean, unless she ends up behind bars, then it's not a win.
Accurate, in our opinion, at least the facts as we saw them.
What did you think about the passages of the book that describes going to Murdaugh with the jurors?
Well, the problem I have with what she says in there is, after going to Moselle, we, if you notice, she used the plural we, felt such and such and such and such. Is that the jurors and her? I mean, I think that's great cross-examination for her when she testifies in this matter before the trial judge if the Court of Appeals sends it back.
Do you want any hearing in this matter to be public?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want all y'all there. We miss you. Any other questions?
Yeah, you said you're investigating. So along your investigation into the alleged jury misconduct and these allegations, have you uncovered any additional things that you would present in a second trial for your defense?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, no.
Yo, they don't have nothing. They don't have anything. I don't think they have anything. I think he just played that card very well, though, getting asked that question. It was kind of like an alley-oop. And I think he slam dunked that because he was like, let's not discuss that. And let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. As if they have something new for the trial, if they have a new trial. That was smooth. That was smooth, my guy. That was some smooth chess playing right there. I like it. I don't think you have anything, though, but I like it.
If we are lucky enough to get a second trial, you have to wait and see. We're not going to disclose any of that today.
These guys.
I am I'm very optimistic that ultimately we will get a new trial. How long that'll take, I don't know.
Have you tried to reach Clerk Hill, ask her any questions about any of this?
We've not reached out to Clerk Hill. We had reached out to some other folks, and based on the information we received, we thought it would be pointless to reach out to her.
What now? We're focused on getting him a new trial. That's what we've been working on. Anything else? No? Thank you so much.
All right, guys, that's it. That's it for this one. Let's go ahead and queue up the next one. And like I said, this is Becky Hill's co-author. Yeah, a little interview with him and see what he has to say about the whole situation. Let me cue that up. And let me close this. And let me check this. Make sure there's no messages from my mods. We good? Yeah. All right, we good, guys. Let's roll. Give me some ones in chat if you guys can hear this once it gets going.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thanks for joining us tonight. What a night. What a night, right? Oh, my goodness, what is going on tonight? You know, I've covered stories through the years involving allegations of jury tampering, and it's always been the defense. Like the most famous, John Gotti, right? They called him the Teflon Don.
Thank you, Pat Gans. To see the one. I see the one. Donna Clark, appreciate you. See the one. Thank you, guys.
Why? Because they always got to the jury.
Step
They
E, thank
always
you.
got to the jury. So when you talk about someone trying to influence a juror in the middle of a case, I mean, from my perspective, it's always been the other side. Tonight, we're talking about not someone from the prosecutor's office, but
Thank you,
as
Dad.
we
Thank you, Steph.
discussed last hour with a bunch of angry defense attorneys, but rightfully so, if this stuff is true. If is the big word. You've got someone from the government who
Jeannie Anders, thank
knows
you.
you're not supposed to talk to the jury about the case that they're hearing. The court clerk. And what we're talking about here is Becky Hill. So today, the attorneys for Alec Murdaugh got together on the steps of the courthouse down in the low country, South Carolina, and talked about some of their allegations against Becky Hill and why Alec Murdaugh did not get a fair trial and deserves a new one.
Alex Murdaugh maintained and still maintains his innocence in the murder of Maggie and Paul and believes the truth will ultimately prevail.
All right, let's skip through that.
And the clerk that's talking about Becky Hill has written a book, Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders, available on Amazon. People are buying it. People are reading it, including the defense. This is part of the basis of them bringing this motion, was based upon this book being released and what's in it. She wrote it with a man named Neil Gordon. Again, it's a big if. If these allegations are true, I think he's going to get a new trial. I really do. But it's a big if. I've been saying that all night. So let's try to get some balance here tonight. Let's get the other side. Joining us tonight, said there was a co-author here. Co-author of Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders, Neil Gordon is joining us tonight. Neil, great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Vinny.
Okay. But before we get into some real details here, your reaction to what happened today. I called it like an earthquake centered down there in the low country, shaking all of us who followed this case. What's your reaction
Yo, I'm out here in Cali and I felt it, bro. What you talking about just in the low country?
to what you heard from the defense today?
I was shocked. I worked with Becky for 6 months as both a friend and a colleague on the book. And we've had many discussions in writing the book about any kinds of conversations that she would have had with anybody associated. As Harpoolian mentioned, I mean, she has many different tasks. She's got to work with the judge, the media, the public, dealing with the food, dealing with defense attorneys and so forth. And very little with the jury. I mean, there is a chief bailiff that keeps their eyes on the jury at all times, and there's very little contact.
So, in preparing this book, were there any conversations that you had with Becky about conversations she had with jurors during the course of the trial, including the foreperson who the defense is saying there were private conversations, allegations that they're on the Moselle property and they walked off together? They may have had a conversation in the jury room bathroom.
Well, Vinny, all that I know and that we put in the book, you mentioned Moselle. There was an order from the judge for there to be silence. There was no conversation to be had. So I asked her and said no conversation was had. We talked about a couple of different things. If you meet Becky, you know that she's a very spiritual person, and she mentioned that the jury was very prayerful.
And that's a little bit off topic, but Donna Clark, I think if you go over to your settings, like your channel settings, like your personal settings, I believe it's in there. I think you check for blocks in there. I'm pretty sure you can check on there. Don't quote me 100 on it, but I think in there in the settings, channel settings.
It was mentioned to her that they prayed often. Becky prayed often with her staff and all. And I asked her directly, I said, did you ever pray with the jury? And she said, oh, no. No legal entity is
You're welcome, Miss Donna.
allowed to have prayer with the jury. So, you know, it was very clear to me that there was a line there.
Okay, now, it's unusual. I've been doing here at Court TV for a long time. I don't know if I've ever seen a book written by the clerk of the court after one of these big trials.
Not just the clerk of the court, guys, but the clerk of the court that got to read the freaking verdict too. Like, how perfect is that to write a book, right? That's why, like, when I heard this, I was like, had she not written the book, I'd be like, I don't know. But dude, she wrote a book and she got to read out the verdict. I don't know. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but that sounds like Becky Hill done messed up.
I've seen them written by the attorneys on both sides, and sometimes they got in a little trouble for
You're welcome, Miss Jeannie.
that. I've seen plenty of them written by jurors in states that permit it after a certain amount of time. What was the motivation that Becky had to get together with you to write this book? And was this the master plan before the trial started? Was it plotted that this was going to be the big retirement nest egg?
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't actually meet Becky until 3 weeks after the trial.
Till after?
My wife, 3 weeks after the trial, my wife, like millions of people, were just glued to Court TV, and they had trouble working. She decided to go with a colleague, Addie.
I was literally working. I'd be at work with that trial playing in my ear. The moment I got off of work, I was like glued to the trial. And the moment that trial was over, I was getting on and putting out a video on YouTube for an update for the trial that day. I was part of that group of people that was just straight addicted. It was horrible, but awesome at the same time.
Rozier to Walterboro to actually watch the trial. She had a chance meeting with Becky the day that the vans were leaving to go to Moselle. In fact, I remember what was said was that there was Becky was actually making sure that people did not get pictures of the jury. That's how intent she was on that. And so Melissa mentioned to Becky, took a selfie and then reached her out, 3 weeks later and said, hey, do you mind if I use this in a coffee table book? And Becky said, this has been the trial of the century. And I'm thinking about it. I just don't know how to go about it. And so they brought me in as a colleague. I mean, my background has been in journalism for 30 years.
Yeah, right. This dude said his wife down there was like, you go fish up a story and just, go act friendly. Go find some information out. We got to get a book on this bad boy. And then she just by chance ran into Becky Hill. I think this guy's guilty, right? He's the one that's guilty, huh? Come on, right? I'm just playing, guys. What are you guys saying in chat, though? Let me see what y'all saying in chat. You got to chat with your greats? Heck yeah. Right. It's always good to spend time with the kids or the grandkids. I don't know about the grandkids part. I'm not that far yet, but love the kids. Kenny, you like Vinny? I like Vinny. I honestly, I'm not joking. I never got into court TV. I always like other news outlets, right? So when I came across Vinny, it wasn't too long ago. But man, yeah, Vinny grew on me quick. I was like, this dude's like me. He gets all animated, but he seems more fair and balanced though. And he doesn't seem like he's easy to fool. Out of like all the talking heads on these big networks, I like Vinny. He's one of my favorites.
I instantly liked her. And as you held up the book, Behind the Doors of Justice, you're right. No clerk of court has ever really written a book to just explain, just minute by minute, how intense
God,
the trials.
That is a pathetic picture of that man. That is horrible. Oh my Lord.
Situation is, and how
That's almost bad as his OnlyFans freaking jail photos, right? At least I heard. I didn't look, I swear. The two ladies told me it was bad, so I'm gonna take y'all word on it.
reverent you have to be to the truth and to law. And I got to tell you, you asked my reaction. I was pretty upset at what Harpootlian said was the motivation that Becky had. Last time I checked, Simon & Schuster did not send us a check for $200,000. The Gordons and the Hills put up $30,000 of our own money because we felt this was.
Oh, my mom's not in here, right? You're not in here right now, Mom? Like, you're missing pictures of your guy in the background. I was waiting for like hearts to go up from Julie Dell.
An interesting story to tell. So right away, Vinny, for that to be motivation for her to get a book deal is completely false. Right there.
So what you just explained to me is that you're in the negative on this.
We self-published.
You self-published.
We self-published.
So that means you didn't get the big advance, none of that.
No.
So all the stuff Murdaugh's attorneys were implying, as far as the money aspect of it all, like, it's kind of cap. It's kind of false, because the way that they did do this, you're not guaranteed money. There's no money up front. You got to put money up front yourself. There she is. There she is. I'll wait for you to throw the crate note.
No.
Okay.
We advanced a check for $30,000. You know, you got attorney fees, you got to get set up on Amazon, you got to print so many copies, liability insurance, editors, you name it. But we felt it was a story that should be told. I mean, in my lifetime, I'm 59 years old. I don't know that there will ever be another trial like this. And it was my honor and pleasure to work with somebody with such integrity and character as someone like Becky Hill. Did you interact with her? I know that you were there.
I was there. I did not. Some of our staff had the opportunity to do that. And you said another trial like this in our lifetime. Well, we're hoping there's not going to be another one like this, because that's what the defense wants. Is
right? Exactly. That's exactly what the defense wants. And it's like the general consensus with Becky Hill is everybody I've heard speak about her, everybody, like Gigi, all those talking heads that got to talk to her, converse with her. So she's like the sweetest lady. So like they were all confused that this is coming out.
Is an exact repeat of the trial. Obviously, they want a different ending to the whole thing. Have you spoken to Becky today after all of this has become public?
Very briefly, as you might imagine, she's had calls off the hook from media outlets. And as much as she'd like to make a statement, these allegations are so deep that she has hired counsel and they're going over them. But I am told they are going to put out a statement in the near future. And one thing I know about Becky Hill, she will answer each and every one of these allegations truthfully. She's one of the most genuine people I know, and it made me sick.
Thank you, Jeannie Ange.
Seeing this played out on national TV, and I just felt like I needed to speak out.
You know, and again, I've prefaced everything today saying, if this is true, because
thank you,
because that's a big part of it, right? And the fact, I mean, she's been doing this for years, right? So I mean, she understands the rules and the role and everything else. So that's why I was so shocked by these allegations. Now, there were some strange things that happened during the course of this trial, including this whole Facebook controversy with juror, I think it was 758, who
The egg lady.
ended up getting kicked off. Was there any of that sort of drama? Because I have not read the book yet. I'll be honest with you. Okay, 100% honest. I've not read this book yet. Now everyone has to read it, right?
Vicky,
to figure out what the defense
Vinny,
is
I'm
talking
gonna
about.
I'm gonna send you an autographed copy.
Oh, thank you, thank you. But
You got
is there anything
We'll
in
send you
here
another.
about the juror who got bounced from the trial because of whatever was going on with the Facebook posts, with the ex-husband, etc.?
Yes, there is, and what it all led to, and this I think is really the most important part of it in our book, is it led to Judge Newman, very unusual, calling the jury back in chambers and interviewing her, calling the juror rather, and interviewing her about the situation. And what he said, and he addressed this to the public and to the gallery, he said he felt that she was discussing the merits of the case, whatever way you wanted to go with it, with the outside public. And so the judge did decide to disqualify her and send her home.
And does Becky, was she discussing with Becky? Is that who she was speaking with?
Oh, no. Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. Apparently, and again, I'm not crystal clear on this, but
This is not sworn
was
testimony
some
tonight,
things-
Neil. You're not under oath, so just your best recollection.
Thank you.
We'll work tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, Vinny,
Thank you, Criminal Man, for posting that. Thank you, mods. My mods are rock, y'all. My mods are here. Give them love. They rock. Thank y'all for always posting the info. I appreciate you guys.
there were apparently some Facebook posts that were out there, allegedly by somebody who knew her and talked about her talking about the case in the community. That was enough for the judge to call the person in. And then after interviewing that juror, he decided that she should not be on the jury anymore. So the end result.
Yeah, when that was popping off during the trial, I was like, what is happening? I got a sick feeling in my stomach that day. I was like, this is not good. Please tell me we're not about to see like a mistrial like, or something. And then I thought we dodged a bullet. I thought we got through it and we got the conviction we all wanted. And now this. Man, what is going on this year? 2023 with the trials and stuff and the cases and whatnot. It's a wild year, guys. How come everything is so crazy in 2023? Like there's weird twists to every single case this year. It's nuts.
Result is the judge made the decision, and we didn't really cover much of because Becky really didn't have any involvement in it that we did.
B, good to see you. I was wondering where you were at. I was about to put out, missing person report or missing B report.
Discussed.
So as we sit here tonight and you think about doing this project with Becky, you guys funded it yourselves. Are there any regrets? Anything like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done this, or oh, we put stuff in here that could be problematic and could perhaps compromise the trial or compromise Becky?
Well, that's a fair question, Vinny. And obviously, when we sat down, we decided that we wanted to share as much as we could with, and I should tell you, this was run through a media attorney. This was run through.
So if they can't cement these allegations, if they can't really convince this judge on these allegations, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is all ran through an attorney? Like, come on, man. This is crazy.
The Ethics Commission in the state of South Carolina about even a clerk of court being allowed to write a book, an elected official. And they said as long as, sealed documents aren't shared and as long as confidential information is not shared, it's okay. And so we went on that premise before we even started. And we carefully vetted this. through media attorneys. And
All right, we got a first. Here we go. Here we go. Criminal Med. I have the book, and I'd be happy to send it to anyone that wants to read it. It sucks as a book, but I think we are in trouble, in my opinion. Oh boy. Oh boy. But that's why I love this community, because there's always somebody that has something valuable to add to our chat. And that's valuable, because if Criminal Med's saying we're in trouble, guys, yeah, I'm inclined to believe that and agree with that. Dang. All right, let's keep rolling.
and editors, and we feel very good about it because it's not so much about the trial. You were there, you saw, and you can see the gallery, small town courthouse. It's like Mayberry, town square. The media is all out in front. People have an opportunity to come in and see this, almost an opportunity of a lifetime. People came from New York and other parts of the country just to see this. And it was wonderful to be able to share how when people work together for the common good to do the right thing, this can come off as, I think, a well thought of trial and how it was run. And that was really her job, was to run the courtroom. That's she's like the operations manager of the courtroom. And from what I could tell, it seemed to me she did a very good job, and I'm proud to call her a friend, and I'm proud to co-author the book with her, and I'd write another one with her.
Well, I've got the title for the next one. Behind the doors of justice, and you follow how all of this sort of works its way through the whole system. Unbelievable. Neil Gordon, appreciate you coming on tonight. I always want both sides of every story, especially when one side is really loud with theirs. So I hope you'll come back as things develop.
I'd be honored to. And Vinny, thank you for being balanced on this and an opportunity to come on and share. And I hope you have a great rest of the program.
All right. Thanks so much. Neil Gordon joining us tonight. All right. Don't go anywhere. Up next.
We're not, Vinny. We're going to fast forward, buddy.
The defendant, Richard Alexander Murdaugh, wishes to take the stand.
So that was another epic moment, right, guys? For everybody that watched the trial. When that dude took the stand, I was like, he's really going to take the stand? Holy crap. And then we watched the biggest liar on the planet lie his freaking liar face off. And that's serious. I'll tell you that right now. That's dead serious. Seriously serious.
Shoot my wife or my son anytime.
He didn't shoot him. He didn't shoot him anytime. What are you guys saying in the chat? Let me see what y'all say in the chat. What are y'all saying in chat? Y'all just chit-chatting? Right, Vanessa Boo? That's how I should have known he was going to take the stand, is because the dude likes to hear himself 100%. I was excited. I was like, I can't believe he's taking the stand. This is going to be insane. And he did not disappoint. And he didn't.
All right. He says he didn't do it. Says he wants a new trial. Now he may have a reason to get a new trial, depending on how this whole thing goes. Explosive allegations from his team today, saying that the clerk of the court, Becky Hill, who wrote this book, we just spoke to her co-author, was talking to the juror and influencing the jury during the course of the case. Take a look. This is an affidavit. Juror 630, toward the end of the trial, Rebecca Hill told the jury not to be fooled by the evidence presented by Mr. Murdaugh's attorneys, which I understood to mean that Mr. Murdaugh would lie when he testified. She also instructed us to, quote, watch him closely immediately before he testified, including to look at his actions and look at his movements, which I understood to mean that he was guilty. It's as if we had Janine Driver instructing the jury on body language. I mean, what is this? Now,
my question is, did each one of these jurors, the things that they're reporting on, did they hear them together or all separately? And then it's like if they heard them independent of each other, it's like, where's the proof that they heard what they heard, that she said what they're claiming she said to them? If none of them can corroborate each other's story, right? It's all these different interactions. Now, there's that. Plus, man, are they just pissed off because she wouldn't let them smoke? You know what I mean? They couldn't smoke. Are they just mad? So they're like, man, screw her and her book. I'm about to make some stuff up. She would let me smoke. You know, nicotine addicts, man, they be like that sometimes. I'm just saying. And I used to dip. I can't, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
She's denying it. Her co-author also told us that none of this happened.
Whoa, Sam. You sneaked in here right past me. Didn't see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
He was, what does this mean? So it's a big if, but if could be a big problem. Let's bring in our think tank. Joining us tonight in Seattle, Washington, trial attorney, author of Justice in the Age of Judgment, fellow at the American College Trial Lawyers, Ann Bremner. Also with us tonight in West Palm Beach, Florida, former police lieutenant, great trial attorney, Rick King. And in Columbia, South Carolina, criminal defense attorney, Lori Murray, lawyer Lori.
No, that's what I'm saying, criminal man. Like, dude, smokers get smoke breaks everywhere. Like, straight up everywhere, smokers get smoke breaks. You really gonna tell them they can't have their nicotine and feel like you're gonna get the outcome that you want? Come on, man. Let's see what else y'all saying. All right, I'm caught up. Let's keep going.
TikTok, millions and millions and millions of views. You got to check it out. All right, let's. Lori Murray, let me start with you first, though. I just spoke with Neil Gordon, the co-author. Seems like they vetted all of this to get ready for the book. There was nothing about these conversations when they went to the Moselle property. When they allegedly had these conversations, there was all silence. What are your thoughts tonight about whether or not these allegations made by the defense could be true? 0 to 10, 10 being it's the truth, 0 being come on.
9.5. I believe them. They're sworn affidavits. I'm sorry, you're talking about you pitting two people against each other. You're asking her whether she did her due diligence, but are they going to say to her, hey, you influenced us? It's not their job. When they're asked about what happened and what the interaction was with Becky, then they told defense attorneys what that interaction was.
But here's the thing, though. You got to remember, like, every day of the trial, not just once a day, multiple times throughout the day, that jury is asked if they talked about anything with anybody they're not supposed to. So it's like, why did those jurors bring it up? Like all those other days they could have brought it up. Why did they wait so long to bring this up? It's almost like they want, like, I don't know. They want that little 15 minutes of fame or something. I don't know. It's weird. I got questions.
Becky's not going to go, did you feel like I was influencing you? Because I kind of was. At this point, it's like Becky with the bad book.
Ann Bremner, I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a person from the court system, here's the court clerk, allegedly, again, it's allegedly.
Right.
If criminal defendants get the presumption of innocence, clerks of the court clearly get them when they're not even charged with anything, okay? Okay, so.
Right on.
Right.
Oh, dang. You in Canada? You're in Canada, Darcy? So you're one of those people that are in my algorithm from Canada. Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. I've heard some stuff, Miss Darcy. Heard it ain't, I don't know.
Hey, so, but I've never seen an instance.
Racuti, first time seeing you here. Good to see you. Welcome. Defense just trying to see what sticks. That's a possibility. But we shall see, because, it looks like we got some sworn statements. So we'll see what these jurors say if they get pulled in and have to testify, right? See if the stories change.
Instance like this, does this stuff happen and I just don't know about it? I'm naive?
No, This is stunning. But if a juror swears that this happened, I mean, there could be a new trial, like you said. I mean, if they said that happened, the judge is presumed prejudicial if there's extrinsic evidence like this. Something's injected in the jury room, is presumed to be prejudicial, and then the judge has to conduct a hearing to decide whether or not that's harmless. And last I looked at that was harmless beyond a reasonable doubt. I've had 2 cases like this. One of the cases, not like this, it wasn't the clerk, but extrinsic evidence and not jury tampering, but close, where I benefited, got a new trial, and once where I, as a prosecutor, had to do a whole do-over in a serial rapist case. So it happens, especially with social media. But I can't believe a clerk would do that. I just can't.
Yeah,
I just can't. I can't.
So, Rick King, I believe an affidavit might be enough to get a hearing, but I want someone in the courtroom facing cross-examination, direct examination, under oath, in view of the public, saying this stuff for me to
All right, guys, give me some ones in chat real quick. My internet just cut out, or StreamYard, one of the two. Give me some ones in chat. While I'm waiting on those ones, though, let me see. Rakuti. Hi, guys. I stumbled upon this channel after searching updates on Delphi murders. Great content. Thank you. I appreciate that. You must have caught one of our lives on Delphi. I think it was yesterday we did a live on Delphi. I thought it was pretty good. Thank you, though. I appreciate you. Appreciate you staying. What else y'all saying in here? All right, I've seen the ones, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know how my service be sometimes. All right, I got the ones. I'm gonna go ahead and continue then.
To believe that is, but if it's true, Rick, I think I'm with any lawyer, right? If this is true, there's no way he should not get a new trial, because we can't have people telling, I don't care who they are.
You know, one of my problems with this, right, is it's like you hear her character, her her reputation is great. So this sounds like out of character for her to do something like this. But then it's like the same time, it's not one juror saying this, it's multiple jurors saying this. If it was one juror saying this, I'd be like, all right, just one nicotine, addict that's mad that they didn't get the, Am I still frozen, Ginny Ange? Give me some ones if I'm unfrozen. I'm seeing the feed good on my phone. Am I still froze? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know before I keep going. One. All right. I'm seeing ones. Must be the delay. All right. Cool. All right. We're good then. But yeah, that's my whole deal is like, she doesn't sound like the type to do this, but at the same time, we got 3 different people saying some stuff. So it's like 1 maybe, but 3, they don't look good. It's like, man, are all 3 just coincidentally, telling some stories? But that's a hell of a story to tell. It's going to land you in court, up on the stand. Crazy. Yeah, the videos, because I haven't started the video. I was just making sure you guys can hear me before I get started. All right. Don't be talking like that, Bees. You be talking like that. That's country boy. Us country boys be looking for that. Like to hunt fish. Key. All right. Let's go. Let's keep going, guys.
No matter who they are, talking about the case with a jury.
Right. I totally agree with you. And here's the thing. So in Florida, the clerk doesn't have that kind of jury contact. It's the deputy, it's the bailiff in the courtroom who speaks to the jury and takes them out, brings them to lunch, brings them back.
Well, that was the case here too, though. But what Neil Gordon just told me in the interview was there was a bailiff who was in charge of the jury, but I guess the court clerk also had a say in coordinating some of this stuff.
Oh, you got jokes, Miss Sassy? Huh? You got jokes? You messing with me? Yo, this chat, you guys do like to mess with me a lot. And you know what? I'm here for it. I like
I
it.
don't know. It's the first trial I covered in the Low Country where I went there and saw it in action.
So to me, that in and of itself is somewhat like skeptical, and it gives the kind of just the it looks the impropriety. It just looks improper. But here's what I would say also, and this is where you can color me skeptical. What are the chances of the journalist's wife getting a selfie with her, and then months later there happens to be, it just happened to have her phone number to call her, and this book thing gets started? Color me skeptical, but I just
wait a minute. Let's talk about the book deal here. If this is the big prize, right? This is why we're doing all of this. This is why we are potentially committing crimes and tampering with the jury, is to produce this. There was no advance, Lori Murray. There was no advance. It cost the author.
I like Vinny. He did an interview with the author, the co-author, right? And now he's bringing that information into this debate here, and he's not letting it be one-sided. That's what I like about Vinny. He keeps it balanced. I like it.
$30,000 to get this out to the public. They're in the negative right now, Lori Murray. Unless all your TikTok followers are going to buy a copy, they're not going to make money from this.
You have a copy.
I have told all of them not to buy that. I have told them all, do not buy this book because it is.
Yo, bro, that's dirty. She told her whole platform, all of her subscribers and followers and members, not to go buy the book. That's messed up, bro. Because you don't know if this lady did this or not. Even if it's a crappy book, that's not cool. You know what? I wonder if Becky Hill could actually, if she has legal grounds to, do anything on that. Like, you have somebody with a platform telling people not to buy your book based on, things that haven't been, testified on in front of a judge. That's not cool, man. See, some of these talking heads, they pop up on these panels on these bigger networks. Some of them, dude, they're full of crap. Some of them aren't that great of people. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that lady is not right.
What are you doing that for? Let's get their money.
Call her out, baby. Call her out, brother. That's messed up, right?
Back. They spent $30,000 to make this.
I read that thing and I want my money back. It was the biggest piece of self-aggrandizing collection of papers that I have ever seen. Becky was the center of the case. Becky got to read the verdict. Becky did this. Becky did that. Becky. And, I want to say that in South Carolina, to your point, sir, from Florida,
that is true, right, Criminal Med? But see, that's only if you have a rebel state of mind. If you have that rebel mentality, you'd be like, oh, don't read it. I'm going to read it. Screw you. But this lady probably has the type of, subscribers, members, whatever, that will probably listen to her and not buy it. So that's not cool, man. It's not cool. Miss Donna said, can somebody please tell Sassy she's not blocked from my account? Thank you. Miss Sassy, hopefully you heard that. I'm not sure if anybody told you. Thank you, Miss Jeannie Ann. Appreciate that. I on a pool table and definitely know how to use it. Bees. You like the fish, you like the hunt, you can play some pool. You got little creatures that produce honey. Would you try to put yourself on an eligible show, like eligible bachelorette show or something? Let's see what else you guys are saying. Let me catch up in chat here. Okay, I'm caught up in chat. Let's keep going, guys.
The clerk of court is over our bailiffs. Our bailiffs are the ones that are supposed to have the contact with the jury, not the clerk of court. So if she had one bit of contact with them, it's improper. The bailiff.
Well, what's improper is you tell them not to buy her book. That's messed up. Just because you're an attorney, you got some money, and you sitting good. The clerk of court, she ain't making money like you. Yo, that's dirty, man.
Have the contact with the jury, not the clerk of court.
Okay. And
yo, she might need that money from them book sales because she might be in some legal trouble. She might need some attorneys at this point. So, man, you doing her dirty, man. You doing her dirty.
I don't know what the truth is here. I don't know. I need to see testimony. I heard all about affidavits. Ann Bremner, in your career, are affidavits always accurate?
No. In fact, in these juror matters, they're not accurate. In fact, one of my cases, they were totally inaccurate. And it went up on appeal and then all over the place. You're like, how did you say that? You know, like you got him to say that. And they go, I didn't mean that. When they testify, well, I didn't mean to say that. That lawyer asked me to do that.
Miss Donna and Miss Sat, are you guys reunited? Have you guys been reunited in the chat? Can you guys see each other now? I feel like playing that song. I'm not gonna sing it. You guys know the song, right? I know. You got, especially people in this chat, you guys definitely know that song.
You know, X, Y, and Z. So they're just trying to be helpful. No, they're not always accurate.
Okay, so
Bees, seriously, are you like the perfect woman or something? Like, what are you doing? What you talking about? Like, anybody know of a bachelorette show we could put Bees on? Because she over here trying to sound all perfect. Yeah, Miss Donna, you know what I was talking about, Miss Donna. I wasn't gonna sing it. I ain't gonna put you all through that kind of mess, but yeah, that's exactly the song I was thinking about.
we will sing. And like I said, I agree with everyone. I think that if this is true, but we got to get to that part of it. And this weekend, I'm glad I bought it because I needed it tonight. I just bought a big thing of Himalayan pink salt, sea salt.
Yo, I love Vinny, man. He didn't just say he came in with like a big ass grain of salt. This boy, he said, I done stepped up and got that pink Himalayan hitter, baby. I got that pink Himalayan, got them extra electrolytes in it. I'm ready. I'm ready to hear it.
Whatever it is from the Himalayas. So I bought it this weekend. I got it.
Love
I needed
it.
it, but this could be a real problem. All right, they're with us the whole hour, folks. Our think tank up next.
Yo, that was a good one, man. That was a good one. I love Vinny, man. He is the man. He is entertaining. All right, guys. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before we jump into this next video. The Bees. I'm a master of all things. I'm just great with my hands. Okay. Oh my Lord, y'all got jokes in here tonight. Oh my Lord, you all got jokes. Oh, back row Becky, that was vicious, yo. All right, guys, let's so this next one I got queued up for us to watch. So we heard the press conference, right? The original press conference. We just heard co-author. We heard a little breakdown, a little think tanking with Vinny, giving opinions on the situation. So what this one is, this is an interview from CrimeCon. So yeah, let's hear what they got to say. And I didn't really get to listen to this, so yeah, this will be a reaction basically for me. You know how it is. If you can kind of tell when I watched something before. When I have it, bro, I can't help it. Like it comes out. I can't help it. So let me make sure I'm caught up in chat real quick. Okay, Bees. Bees is, what don't you do, Bees? Sassy, you and Jill all things too. I find that's an awesome quality in any man or woman to have like a lot of skills, have a lot of skill sets, makes you a more interesting person, especially in conversation. But anyways, guys, let me go ahead and get in this video. Give me one in chat once we get started so I can, verify y'all hearing it.
I will say Alec is entitled to a new trial, and he will get a new trial, whether it's by Judge Newman, by the Court of Appeals, by the Supreme Court, or by the federal courts.
Attorneys for Alec.
All right, let me know in chat, guys. Give me some ones in chat if you guys can hear that. Let me know. Let me know. All right, sweet, guys. I'm seeing the one. Thank you, Jeannie Ange. Polly Waffle, thank you. Penny Riddle, thank you. Keep rolling. We'll keep rolling then.
Murdaugh, confident they have enough information to vacate his conviction in the murders of his wife, Maggie, and son, Paul.
Again, I've been doing this almost half a century. Never have I seen anything approaching this.
It's the late.
Real quick. Right, Darcy? I watch your videos too. That whole bee, woo, it is intense. It's intense. That's funny. That's kind of like my story with YouTube. I started back at YouTube in 2011, not really making content. It was just to research stuff, all the different things that I'm into. And then it brought me to true crime. And then like I fluttered around true crime forever without finding a community. And then I kind of broke off all the documentary style true crime stuff. And I think it was somewhere between Summer Wells and Keely Rodney when I started finding these communities, like these like, you know, live, you know, chat rooms and all this stuff going on. Let's see. So similar. Oh yeah, Criminal Med. I guarantee that already. I guarantee that. I've already heard so many of you guys like refer to certain things that you guys do. This group is a talented group of individuals indeed. All right, guys, let's continue.
Latest chapter in the Murdaugh saga that never seems to end.
This case will steal your life if it doesn't take it.
Thanks.
Oh, Tennessee sweetheart, good to see you, ma'am. Good to see you. Hey, we got 28 of you on here. Can you all smash that like, smash that share if you haven't already? Appreciate it.
For joining us here on Law and Crime, I'm Anjanette Levy. Alec Murdaugh's attorneys dropped a bomb in their motion for a new trial where they claim the clerk of courts in Colleton County tampered with the jury. Over the weekend, I caught up with them at CrimeCon in Orlando. We discussed a number of things, including the motion, and they also revealed at CrimeCon who is paying them.
First of all, how are you enjoying yourselves here at CrimeCon?
We're having a big time. I mean, it's just, you know, it's its own microcosm, and in this microcosm, as ridiculous as it sounds, we're celebrities.
Right, you are celebrities.
You know, and it's we get on a plane tomorrow and go back to Columbia. We won't be
celebrities. I guess it's kind of true. If you show up to CrimeCon and you've been a part of one of the biggest trials, you know what I mean, in recent history, I guess you're kind of be treated like a celebrity. I mean, you got guys like JLR running up to you wanting a selfie and an interview and stuff. So I'm sure it'd probably be pretty BA, pretty awesome to be there and have that type of, you know, following and stuff. It'd probably feel pretty special. I really want to go to CrimeCon, guys, so bad. I really do. Oh my Lord. Like, I'm seeing you guys keep dropping things in chat that you do. And I'm like, y'all could do everything. Like, literally nothing y'all can't do. That's awesome. Now I know I can call some people and be like, hey, I got a problem with this.
Celebrities anymore. So we're enjoying it right now.
There's a huge turnout. I mean, a lot of people here.
And
So,
they know they're down in the weeds on
What the hell? Bro, he talked about JLR. He just talked about JLR, guys. He said down in the weeds, man. That's basically the bushes. He just brought up JLR. That's who he had to be talking about, right? He had to be talking about JLR on that one. Come on, man. For real. That's crazy. That had to be a JLR shout out. Tell me I'm lying.
the Murdaugh case, and they want to talk to us about cell phones and blood sampling. I mean, it's sort of interesting to us to have that kind of very finite, focused interest in a case, you know, we worked on for months and months and months and months, getting ready and then trying it for 6 weeks.
Millions around the world watched the Murdaugh trial, tuning in each day for 6 weeks.
This is character evidence,
yep,
which is precluded.
The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Guilty? Before finding Murdaugh guilty of the murders of his wife Maggie and son Paul. Now the woman who read that guilty verdict, Colleton County Clerk of Court Becky Hill, is at the center of Murdaugh's motion for a new trial. Harpootlian and Griffin say 2 jurors have told them that Hill had private conversations with the jury foreperson and that she tried to sway jurors to find Murdaugh guilty.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the motion for new trial, because there are some really serious allegations in there. about jury tampering, things that I've never heard of in happening in a trial.
Join the crowd. We haven't either.
Yeah, and when we interviewed these jurors and we started hearing what they reported in their affidavits, I mean,
why do they look so awkward? Is it just me, or do they look awkward in this interview? Like in the last press conference, glasses on, swagged out, feeling themselves. But do they look awkward? I don't know what it is. It's a weird interview.
it really was jaw dropping. I've never heard of it, and I've been doing this 35 plus
Yo, that boy did a lot of crying during the trial. I'm just going to say he did a lot of whining.
years. Dick's doing it
50
years, and this is unheard of. And these jurors that have came forward on their own free will, and they have nothing to gain by giving us this information. In fact, they're putting themselves out there, and shows real courage. But they're
100%, Mr. Michigan, 100%. Yo, that's part of why this community is so lit, dude. We got like a bunch of bad, what he said. That's why our community is so great. Trying to keep it YouTube friendly, you know what I mean?
There's no doubt in our mind they're telling the truth. And so we're looking forward to having a hearing where we can explore everything under oath.
Prosecutors have been tight-lipped about the allegations of jury tampering, filing a brief response with the Court of Appeals in which they concede a hearing on the claims may be necessary to resolve the issues. Prosecutors also took issue with Murdaugh not filing a sworn statement saying he didn't know about the jury tampering claims prior to the verdict.
Oh, Lord, back row, Becky. That sounds like a handful. Sounds like a handful. Possibly a little entertaining at the same time. I mean, could be. Thank you, Jeannie Ange, seriously, got the best mods. You guys rock. I appreciate you guys so much. Right, unheard of, but
The sworn statement is, I did not know somebody was fixing the jury during the trial. That's the affidavit. I mean, how ludicrous is that?
And there is no procedural requirement for that. I mean, there's a case from the 70s where a judge did not grant an evidentiary hearing after a guy had pled guilty because he came forward and said, I was, that I had evidence
Thank you, criminal med.
exculpate me. And the judge said, well, you needed to prove that you didn't have the evidence before you pled guilty. It's a completely different factual scenario than what we have here. But we fixed it.
Prosecutors also say objective investigation by SLED is ongoing. They also say the inquiry has also revealed significant factual disputes with Murdaugh's claims.
And we see in their filing that they say there's some discrepancies. I don't know how they say that when they haven't interviewed the jurors who've given us affidavits. I mean, the question is, are those jurors telling the truth? It doesn't mean that if...
Bro, you're hurting your situation. Why did you just say that? Why did you just make that comment? That was stupid. Oh my Lord. This is the problem. Some people ain't meant for fame. Some people get that big head about them and they be saying some stuff they should not say. My Lord. He just said that. Oh my goodness. If the jurors are telling the truth.
Other jurors didn't hear what these jurors heard, that the jurors that came forward are lying about it. It just means maybe she didn't say it in front of the other jurors.
Harpootlian now says his team has 4 jurors who have raised concerns about feeling pressured to reach a guilty verdict.
One of the interesting aspects is they all report that once the jury went out, they were told, you're not going home. If you don't reach a verdict quickly, we're going to have you put up for the night. And you 6 smokers that we've given smoking breaks to for the last 6 weeks.
Yo, Mr. Michigan. I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. Yo. Oh, my guy's so funny.
No more smoking breaks. So you don't get to smoke a cigarette until you reach a verdict. I've never heard of such a thing. So it's that kind of hotboxing. Somebody wanted a quick verdict, and we're going to make the folks with nicotine addiction have to suffer withdrawal until they reach the verdict.
One of the jurors who spoke with Murdaugh's lawyers was juror number 785. She became known as Egg Lady because she asked to retrieve a dozen eggs from the jury room after she was excused before closing arguments.
She was like, yes, I want my eggs. Yes, I need you to retrieve my eggs. She was not playing about her eggs.
She filed an affidavit in which she said Becky Hill told the jurors before Murdaugh testified not to be fooled by him. Egg Lady also claims that Becky Hill approached her about a Facebook post by her ex.
Dude, man, part of me feels like maybe she did, but at the same time, more stuff I'm hearing, it's starting to sound like these jurors might be full of shees. You know what I mean? They might be upset about stuff, especially Egg Lady, right? She got ejected out over, the Facebook drama or whatever. Man, I'm really torn on this, guys. I'm really torn on whether these jurors are telling the truth or not. I really am.
Ex-husband, in which he claimed that Egg Lady had already made up her mind. She claims that she told Hill she hadn't made up her mind about the verdict, and the juror's ex-husband filed an affidavit saying he didn't post what Hill had claimed on Facebook. Attorney Joe McCullough, who used to practice law with Dick Harpootlian, represents Egg Lady and another Murdaugh juror.
Oh, okay. Okay, you see how this is working out now? We see how this is working out. This is Harpootlian's boy is representing Egg Lady. Oh my goodness. There was no conflict of interest. You can't make this shit up, man. What? Are you serious? Guys, I don't know, man. At this point now, the more I'm hearing, really, it sucks because I think they might have enough for the retrial, right? I'm still kind of pretty dead set that they're probably going to have enough for a retrial. But damn, dude, I don't know if I believe these jurors. This just seems too convenient about it. Like Harpootlian's boy is representing Egg Lady. Like for real. This is crazy.
I think that all of the jurors I've spoken with, and currently I represent.
That's literally what I'm saying, Mr. Michigan. I don't know, man. This is starting to sound fishy now. This sounds like some, reverse Uno type jury tampering thing. It was like, prosecution, we think prosecution or, somebody in the court's tampering, but, we flipped it and now we tampering. Like, what? This is crazy.
Present two, and one who continued to serve through the verdict. And so there.
Yeah, no, exactly, criminal man. I think it'll be enough to get them the retrial. I really do. I don't believe these jurors, though, at this point. I don't know if I believe these jurors. This sounds like a giant load of, you guys know, the stuff in the pasture. Like, what? Let me see what else you guys are saying in the chat. Let me see. You got the grandbabies, Tennessee. Enjoy that time. Let's see what else you're all saying. Jeannie. Slaves. Right, criminal man? That's so funny. Hey, Lindley, for real, it is a circus, man. Like I said, this is the closest thing to an actual, watching a movie play out. With all these characters that are involved, it's insane. Let me see. All right, I'm caught up, guys. Let's continue.
There's because of these affidavits that they have given, there's obviously a consistency that's troubling, and I think it's going to be incumbent on the system to figure out what happened and whether anything of consequence happened.
A transcript also reveals that even Judge Newman was concerned that Becky Hill had spoken with this juror.
He said, I'm surprised that the clerk would be interrogating a juror about this matter and not bringing it to me. And I told Judge Newman I'm surprised too. Now, what? We put in our motion that we intend to file and attach in the Court of Appeals is that whole subject matter was about a Facebook post that is non-existent. It
totally
is
fabricated.
It's totally fabricated. And
damn, then they say that. Now I'm back to dang, man, maybe she did do it. This is crazy. Who the hell's lying in this, guys? Who? All right, guys, let me get a little quick poll real quick. Give me a 1 if you think Becky's lying, Give me a 2 if you think the jurors are lying. I want to see who you guys believe. Becky's lying 1, jurors lying 2. Let me know what you guys think. I'm confused at this point. I don't know what I think. So 2, jurors lying for Darcy. So Darcy's saying jurors lying. Okay. See what else you guys say. All right. Katie Riddle's with that 2, jurors lying. Mr. Michigan's with the jurors lying. All right. We got some, let's see. All right. Sassy's with that 1. So Sassy thinks Miss Hill's lying. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm really torn on this one. Yo, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. Everybody's lying. Man, it seems just like the way to do things in the low country, huh? Everybody's lying, and somebody is definitely getting paid. That is true, Kathy Blanks. But man, I'm still tripping. Criminal Med 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm still tripping the fact that Harpoon's boy is representing Egg Lady. That just seems kind of. I don't know, man. It seems really, low country law to me, and I don't think low country law, old school law, needs to be being practiced anymore. I mean, I could be wrong. So it looks like some of y'all are jurors are lying, some of y'all Becky's lying, some of you are undecided. So cool. I don't feel so bad for being confused.
Something here recently, further evidence of the fabrication of that, and we're bewildered as to how that came up, and we're even more bewildered why SLED goes out and interviews these 2 tenants of the Egg Lady, but doesn't go out and interview the ex-husband who allegedly put on Facebook that I guess got drunk with the juror and she told me all about the trial, and SLED never interviews that guy. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that SLED knows that was BS? Those are questions that need answers, and SLED is in no position to answer those questions.
Absolutely. And understand, as these things are being read.
See you later, Miss Sassy. Thank you for being here. Hope you have a good evening.
We're in a trial. We're focused on the next witness, the forensics, the cell phone. I mean, these were sort of side issues, and we never in a million years believed somebody was tampering with the jury. I mean, could not even. When we interviewed these jurors, and it wasn't immediately after the trial, it was at some point, probably 5 months after the trial, what we heard was so shocking that we feel like chumps.
Harpootlian and Griffin also raised the issue of Hill having several conversations with the 4-person, even as the jurors toured Moselle.
Well, we thought it was a little strange. We thought that, of course, the judge went too. We thought that was a little strange. I mean, and some of the jurors had questions. They asked the judge. The forelady of the jury spent almost the entire time with the clerk.
At the jury view.
And I was there. I saw it. So.
Are you a witness?
No, I'm not a witness. I mean, I saw it any more than I'm a witness to anything that happens in the courtroom. But I would think that
interesting.
Take the sworn testimony of the forelady of the jury, find out whether she had any relationship with it.
For real? For real, Miss Donna? It's like that back there? I wish I'd have lived back there. My bad. I better not say that. That's not right. But dang, I wish we had that out here in California. You almost opened up a whole bag of worms with that one, Miss Donna. I almost went into a side quest rant on you guys. Thank you, Jeannie Ange. I'm just saying, Miss Donna. I'm just saying, if we had that law out here in Cali, my life would be a little bit different right now. That's all I'm saying, Miss Donna.
She had any discussion, but they certainly were talking about something. And again, call me naive, but we just assumed every.
Let me rephrase that, Miss Donna. My life would be a little bit different in a very good way if we had that law here, okay? Don't get that twisted. I just want to make sure we know what side of that I would be on, okay? BM, thank you. It's good to have you here, BM. I appreciate you dropping that.
Everything was going to be on the up and up.
Harpootlian and Griffin represented Paul Murdaugh in the criminal case for the boat crash that killed Mallory Beach. Both lawyers spent a lot of time with Alec, Paul, and Maggie Murdaugh because of that, and they grew close to the family.
Look, check this out too, guys. When I got into the Murdaugh trial, right, I hadn't followed the whole Murdaugh lore. Like I like just fell into it, right, and got intrigued and had to learn a bunch of stuff about it. So I didn't really. I mean, I brushed over the boat accident, right? I got the gist of it, you know, the players and whatnot. I never really looked deep into the videos and all the background. So when we did the recap the other day, the history recap on the saga, and we saw all that awesome footage that was it Coffee and Colt? I think that's what her name was that she put together that we covered. Man, it changed my whole feel about Paul. Like I had a little empathy for him during the trial. But I mean, I don't know if it sounds bad, but after we did that recap, I was like, man, that dude he wasn't a good dude. He wasn't a good kid, and I don't think he was going to end up being a good guy later either. Let's see what else y'all saying. Thank you. BM, you're awesome. I appreciate you. All right, I'm caught up. I am caught up. Supposedly the brightest crown in the state is naive and oh, I love it, man. You guys got the best jokes. Let's keep rolling, guys.
Family.
I don't think America and your viewers have seen the graphic murder photographs of Paul. But the fact of the matter is, whoever killed Paul shot him once in the chest and once in the head. You can say it was going up or going down, but it was execution. And I've known Paul since 2019. I've known Alec for 20 years, and I've known Paul, Maggie, and Alex and Buster real well since 2019. I don't know of any man that would blow his son's head off. And I promise you, Alec Murdaugh was not capable of that. I believe that in my soul, and I've never wavered from that. And so, I mean, it was very difficult.
I know, Miss Darcy, I agree with you on that. I agree with you. It was like I said, I brushed over everything when I first got into the trial and preparing for the trial. And after we did that recap the other day, I had a totally different outlook on Paul. I was like, man, he was not a good dude. He was not going to be a good dude. I mean, that dude was probably going to drink himself to death early, to be honest with you. At that age, to have that bad of a problem. Most people, at least in my experience, I've known a lot of people that started young like that. And that some of them ain't here now. And they're my age or a little bit younger. And I'm 40. All right, let's keep rolling, guys.
I was believing Alec's innocence. I was very, very disappointed in the jury's verdict.
We both spent a lot of time with Paul, Maggie, and Alec. And I have in my mind's eye, it was a weekend where there was a baseball game in Columbia, and Maggie and Paul and Alec came up. And after we finished talking about some of the details of Paul's case,
I mean, come on. Alec Murdaugh needs to just do that time for being a crap parent altogether, right? Freaking child neglect, child abuse, just because they had money and nice things. Those kids were not raised right at all.
They all walked out together. And I can see Alec holding Maggie's hand and his arm around Paul. And they always had that affectionate, I mean, it's just, if they got in an argument and he shot Paul, once, but the second shot, everybody agrees, was either a contact wound or an intentional wound to blow in the head. There's no coming back from a shotgun blast in the head. And
I'm not young. Bees, I'm not that young. 40. All right, it's not that young. At least 40 years after spending 21 years in a manual labor job, I definitely don't feel that young. But thank you.
His brain literally came out of his skull, hit the ceiling, and hit the floor. And both our experts agree. Whoever did it would have been covered in blood from head to foot. And the forensic evidence was inconsistent with that. We never got to that because Judge Newman spent 2.5 weeks allowing the state to put in.
That's so funny, Mr. Michigan. Yeah. Y'all are funny.
All the financial stealing and misdeeds that Alec did. By the time we got to the real evidence, the murder evidence, nobody was going to be sympathetic to him.
Get back. Get back.
One piece of evidence that jurors cited when finding Alec Murdaugh guilty was the kennel video that placed Alec Murdaugh at the kennels minutes before prosecutors say Paul and Maggie were murdered. Murdaugh had told law enforcement and everyone he knew that he had not been to the kennels that night.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth.
I asked Harpootlian and Griffin about the big lie.
It was surprising, and and he agrees. I agree. Had he not lied about that, he wouldn't have been charged. If he was charged, he definitely wouldn't have been convicted. So, he explained, the paranoia he was going through. He did have a bag full of pills in his pocket, and he was suspect number one from the minute Colleton County showed up, and so. He got on the stand, and that's one of the reasons we put him on the stand, so he can explain why he lied. I've accepted that reason, and I don't think the jurors who found him guilty, thought much beyond that and didn't look at any other evidence because all the evidence is inconsistent with him being the murderer. As Dick was saying, the forensic evidence.
Harpootlian and Griffin maintain they believe Paul and Maggie were murdered because of Alec Murdaugh's drug activity. Murdaugh pleaded guilty to a number of financial crimes charges in federal court last week related to his theft of millions of dollars from clients and his law firm. One of his trials on the state charges is scheduled to begin in November. And as far as the murder case goes,
I will say Alec is entitled to a new trial, and he will get a new trial, whether it's by Judge Newman, by the Court of Appeals, by the Supreme Court, or by the federal courts. Based on the evidence that we have developed, he's entitled to a new trial.
during their presentation at CrimeCon, Harpootlian and Griffin were asked how they are being paid since Alec Murdaugh's money is being controlled by a court-appointed receiver. They said there was a credit for the handsome fee they received to represent Paul. They also received money from Alec's share of a Murdaugh family trust and his 401k, but they said they would represent Alec Murdaugh free of charge if necessary.
What's this? Such stand-up guys, right? Represent him even with no money. All right, guys. So what we about the 2-hour mark. How y'all feeling? Still got about 17 y'all in here. You know what, guys? We're gonna go ahead and cover this last one. We're gonna add a little something to this. I have the behavior panel breakdown on Buster's his last interview that he did, and they cover a little bit about Alec, but then also cover a little bit about Stephen Smith. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that. We're gonna go ahead and shoot it. Right? We got enough time. If y'all want to bounce, I feel you. It's cool. I understand. But for the rest of y'all hanging out, let's get into it. Because I found that this breakdown for the behavior panel, I found it was like really good. So I definitely want to go over it with you. And I cut out the first, the commercial and stuff at the beginning so we can get right into the breakdown. Before we get started, though, let me see what y'all are saying in chat. Yeah, I did change a few shades. I did. You got me on that. That was a good joke, bro. That was funny. I've never had somebody call me wet behind the ears before. That was good. He was paying people off. Yeah. He was paying a lot of people off for a lot of different stuff too. Comment. What did she say? Yeah. There's a good chance that you may be right on that, Miss Julie Delk. There could have been, accomplices, but the only thing I had a hard problem with the accomplice angle was how did SLED on all the investigation not find the accomplices? Like I feel like you would, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I just felt like they would find somebody else involved if somebody else was involved. Let's see what else y'all are saying. So I blinked. 2 hours is nothing. Keep rolling, Darcy says. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to hear, guys. You don't understand. Look, you know what? I streamed for 7 hours. So it was like 7+ hours when we did the Cavalcante manhunt, right? And I could have kept going. I literally didn't realize we were at 7 hours. I only looked at it because I think Dumplin was going to go live, and or Carson. It was Dumplin at the time, but Carson was going to go live. And I looked at the time. I was like, "Oh my lord, we're over 7 hours of streaming." I can't. It was like my second stream. I think it was like second stream or something, like serious stream. So I will keep rolling. Okay, let's talk Fire Crush. Ah! I love you, Criminal Man. You funny. You smart and funny. That was. Oh my lord. Right? How I honestly have a hard time believing anything that the Murdaugh family or any of their attorneys say, period. It's like they're literally professional liars. Like, why would they be telling us the truth about anything? Yes, I agree with that statement, Miss Jeannie Ange. That's a very wise statement. All right, guys, let's roll.
Right when the reporter is saying this phrase of rushed to judgment, this lip compression here is really strong that we see in him. And we see lip compression pretty often when somebody is withholding something like opinions, emotions, or information. And here you're getting to see that, and you can measure the degree of withholding from the intensity of the movement, how tight the muscles are squeezing. This is one of those behaviors that is as close to universal as it gets, like pupil dilation or constriction, no matter what culture. And I'd say he's softening how he really feels about the initial judgment of these investigators. And we also see this with an increase in blink rate here at the exact same time. And we blink more often when we're stressed, less often when we're getting more focused on something. Next, we see digital flexion. This is the movement, not the still image of someone doing this, but the movement of the fingers toward the palm, right when he says, whichever side of the story you want to believe.
There are always two sides of the story. Now they can pick which one they want to believe.
So this is a stress.
I 100% believe you on that. 100% believe you on that.
Signal. Our fingers curling in here, this movement. And I think a lot of
Criminal Man, I think you dropped that in the wrong chat box.
What we're seeing here is cognitive dissonance, which I think is extremely understandable in this case. And this can lead to a phenomenon of what's called belief perseverance, which is the tendency for us to maintain our beliefs even after they've been discredited by all kinds of new evidence and facts. We have this one belief, and cognitive dissonance makes us kind of try to stay.
Oh, bees. That is literally what I want this channel to be about. Us covering true crime, the proper way, not getting all crazy with conspiracies and whatnot, but covering it with some humor, some lightheartedness, and good times. There's no reason we can't be entertained and cover true crime at the same time, respectfully.
Stay as hard as possible in that lane. That might be what we're seeing here. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm just going to load up further on what you said there. Can't disagree at all. The hands are clasped together there. Now, whether that is him trying to evade the interview in some way, lock himself down emotionally, or whether that's his baseline for if he's in that kind of interview situation, I'm not quite sure. But certainly the digital flexion, as you say there, Chase, is very clear with that little finger on the idea of believe, that you can choose whichever you believe. So an emphasis on that idea of belief, which suggests, look, this isn't for him about facts or evidence, and maybe he's got an argument to say, well, the evidence was corrupt in some way and the facts weren't all of the facts. I'm sure that's correct to some extent, but he's putting forward to the audience, look, there are two sides to believe.
I agree with you, Criminal Ned. I think this boy knows a whole lot more than what he's saying. I think he does. I think he's been raised by lawyers. Think about it. Grandfather, daddy, uncles, right? He understands how to be a liar and how to use his words to come off a certain way. I just don't think he's as seasoned as the older people in his family. But I do believe you. I believe that comment to be true. I think he knows a whole lot more.
There's two sides of the story.
There's my side of belief and the other side of belief, and he is there to put forward his idea of belief.
I think there's a heck of a lot that still needs to be answered about what happened on June the 7th.
Look, there's a lot that needs to be answered around that. Well, that's a very open idea, isn't there? There is a lot that needs to be answered, but I think what he wants us to do is to go.
That's what I noticed too, Mr. Michigan. That's what I noticed too. I mean, I watched the original interviews with, obviously without the behavior panel breaking it down. And there was like so many red flags I was seeing. And obviously I'm no professional or anything, but as soon as I saw the behavior panel drop the interview that they went over it, I was like, yo, I had to watch it. They're so on point with stuff.
Look, all the facts haven't been answered. All the evidence hasn't been answered. And therefore it would be fair to come down on the belief.
Does Buster have a book? Donna Clark? Is he writing a book? Did he put a book out? Do I not know about this? I need to know about this.
Belief of my side that, my father wouldn't have anything to do with harming the family. There is clearly some stress there around the idea of he wants you to believe in something rather than wants you to know new facts or new evidence. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, a few things. If your family is the single most prominent family in the world and you've had privilege and you've had lots of opportunity because of it, and suddenly the rug is pulled out from under your feet, dissonance doesn't begin, Chase, to your point, to explain how things would work. First of all, you're going to try to regain some of that status because you need to do away with the perception that everybody in the family is a monster. I've known somebody who killed his family, and when that happens, everybody in that family is kind of shunned. And so there's part of that. The part I think we're seeing here is he's presenting his case and unsure of how it will be received. And this is a great example. Chase, you say it, all of us say it. You can't look at a person and tell because they're feeling stressed that they're lying. And that's the case here. He's got something he's perceived, something he wants you to hear, but he's not sure how to be received. Now you get a chance to see what I was telling you. Look at that white.
Thank you, Turtle Gang. Appreciate you.
Line under his hairline. His face is flush, but there's a white line under the edge of his hairline. He wasn't this pink to start with in the beginning, which means fight or flight is playing with him. And we know that when fight or flight comes, all the blood goes away from our skin. And then when our body takes over again, when our brain takes over again, we go to flush. We always say the most dangerous person you'll ever face is not a red face. It's a.
My boy, you change your colors like I do. I'm going to go ahead and call it out, all right, before one of you do.
White face because their brain is not working. In some cases, and I'm not sure this is the case, but remember that everything, Chase, I agree with you, that's pretty much a maxim, but people can adopt that as a behavior pattern too, because humans are so quirky. So let's pay attention to how he uses this. In the South, a lot of people will clink their lips when they're talking. A buddy of mine, Rick Crowley, who was an interrogator forever, said he could tell Southerners by the shape of our mouths because of how we pronounce words, residuals leave the way we're looking. And I think he might be right looking at this guy. He suddenly becomes animated when he's asked about the police doing a poor job. His cadence changes. His voice lilts.
There's an awful lot of pressure.
His feet prance. You can see his leg dancing around there. He's milling his fingers is what I call that. And you pointed it out, Chase, when he's gripping and doing this, he's milling. But his thumbs, even through that, his thumbs rise out of containment because this is his thought and he's confident in what he's saying. Whether that's right or not is another story. And then he does some illustrating and raises his brow. As he's telling there's two sides to every story is the only time we've seen him much do a real emotional eye accessing, looking down into his right, and he does that. I think this is likely his more demonstrative baseline when he's not locked down, when he doesn't have something to be fearful of answering.
Yeah, Mr. Michigan, the behavior panel is one of my go-tos, right? So whenever I get on a new case or, become, familiar with some new trial coming up and I go deep dive, what I do is I try to pull up all the news reports and I'll go over it and kind of get an idea of what I think is going on. But then I'll go to people like the behavior panel. There's a few other channels that I'll go to where it'll be breakdowns, psychological breakdowns, behavioral breakdowns by really intelligent people. And I find like that gives you an edge on looking at these, cases and trials. I always say, man, go to people that are smarter than you and see what they're saying, see if it lines up with what you think. And if it doesn't line up with what you think, look at it how they're talking. Maybe it makes sense. Maybe it don't. You know what I mean? But behavior panel is awesome. So if you guys haven't checked them out, Like they do awesome breakdowns.
Answering questions, certainly we're seeing a little bit more of a normal speech pattern. Scott, what do you got?
All right, you guys have covered pretty much everything, so I'll talk about the editing.
For a real criminal, I mean, you could tell they got that little freaking arrogant rich kid, you know, thing going on for sure. But I think Buster he almost has like that budding narcissistic sociopath look like his pops has. Like he could just effortlessly spit it out, Junior. Without effort, he can just spit out some lies. And it's like he believes it himself most of the time. It's like it seems like he only gets flustered when he gets hit with questions that, you know, are harder to answer. But at the same time, it seems like he's somewhat prepared for those questions.
A little bit. I know I bring this up sometimes, but when they're talking, especially when Buster's talking, listen to the room sound. When he says something, you can hear the delay or the echo from the room he's in. Now, at some points, we hear that cut off really tight, which lets us know that there's been an edit there. There's one part at the beginning after he says suspect, and there's this really tight edit.
Come up with a suspect.
And it goes right to Martha, and she starts answering a little bit too quickly. She hasn't had time to take in the information, think about.
Yo, this guy is so good. I can't believe he caught that edit. Like he catches all these edits. So then it's like that affects the way they break this down. The panel will break this down is because you got to know that it's been edited for you to really get a true gauge on the body language and stuff, right? It's
She's going to say it and say it.
Skills.
She answers too quickly. So I'm not slamming them. I'm not saying, oh, this is horrible editing. It's fantastic. It looks great. It sounds great.
Makes sense. Makes sense, Tennessee, that you watch them. Makes sense that you watch them. Let's see what else I'm missing up in chat. Let's see. Right, big stressful job. Yo, Mr. Michigan, you sound like you've lived a full life. You know what I mean? You got some experience, my friend. I've done the same thing. I kind of grew up to where you'd be looking at people, you know what I mean? Be looking for signs and stuff for shit to pop off.
But the edits in there, the thing that bugs me is we're not seeing or hearing the entire answer. We're not getting the whole thing. And quite often, as this guy's talking and he's looking at her and we're seeing a shot of her looking concerned, he's not moving the way he should be moving. At one part, he moves forward, but then when it comes straight back to him, he's still sitting there. He hasn't been moving forward at all. Those little things kind of bug me because I know we're not getting the full shot of what's happening. And by the full shot, I mean what he's saying and how he looks. So we're not getting quite everything. Again, not a slam on them or anything. I'm just telling you to watch out for those kind of things. It's so common in almost every interview we see like this. So
I figured you guys would like this. I thought you guys would like it. I was like, you know what? I'll throw it in the lineup. We might get to it. We might not. But I just felt like it was applicable. It just kind of adds to this whole trial situation because they're questioning him about his thoughts about his dad and the whole situation, right? So it kind of made sense to cover it. Plus, I just found it really interesting. I figured you guys would like it.
And again, like Chase and Greg and Mark too, we all were saying the stress mouth is huge here. It's really big. I think you combine that with his nostrils flare a little bit and that slow, confident head nodding. I think that's anger. I think he's worked up a little bit because they're talking about his family, his dad, who he thought was the coolest guy in the whole wide world. So this gives me the impression he really believes his dad was innocent or is innocent. And during this whole exchange in this video, we only see him blink 4 times through the whole thing. Now compare his blink rate to Martha's blink rate. Big difference there. So he's paying close attention, watching everything she says. And that's one of his.
I just see Mr. Michigan say something about panel, right? After bringing Rooster up on the last live and bringing him up on panel like that, granted, it wasn't like a true crime panel. It was, you know, my boy coming up to spin some facts and some truth, you know, giving support. But that being said, doing that, I was like, man, I need to start just bringing people up on panel when we're talking about stuff because I'm sure some of you would love to come up and give your opinions on things. So I think we should start doing that, man. I really do. I'm ready to do that panel stuff. So maybe we should start doing that. If you guys if you guys are interested in it, you really want to come up and like give your piece on one of these things that we're covering, one of these cases or trials, like you feel like you got something to say and you want to say it, you know, with your chest, and I'm just playing. But you want to say it, in video instead of down in the chat. You want to give your breakdown and stuff. Yeah, let me know. We'll start doing that. I'll start bringing you guys up. Maybe we'll just do one at a time when we're doing just regular, covering just regular topics. And then I'll do bigger panels later for when we do the membership stuff. But yeah, so if you guys are interested, we'll start doing that as we're covering stuff. If you feel like you want to come up and, say your piece, we could do that. Let's see what you're saying in chat, though. I am staring down a piece of whipped chocolate cheese. What are you doing to me right now, Criminal Med? That sounds delicious. You down? I mean, I'm sure Mr. Michigan got some stuff to say. I know he's savvy with paneling. I'm too much. I don't want to hurt too. Oh my Lord. So B is what you're saying is that we're gonna have to wait till the members only panels, and then you'll come up. Yeah, eyes, definitely the eyes. You get stage fright. You are funny. Oh man, let me see. I should start with phone calls. That would be nice. Give people a chance to know you. Oh man, I don't know. I guess I could figure out how to set the phone call thing up, the phone line. I don't have that set up. Pulling you all up on StreamYard just seems so much easier, honestly. And it's like, even if people have fright with the StreamYard, you don't have to show your face. You could, your avatar and stuff. All right, well, I'm just throwing it out there, guys. I'm just throwing it out there. The offer's open, so if we're covering something and you want to come up and give your piece on it, yeah. Everybody that follows so far, I trust y'all to jump up there and give your opinion, and then y'all know me. If you make me mad, I'm gonna block you forever. I'm just playing. Me too, Tennessee. I don't like talking on the phone. I'm not a phone talker. I'll text you. With this whole video thing, I think I'm getting used to the voice chat stuff. It's the same concept, right? But I'm with you on the phone. Criminal Med, I need handlers. Yo, you guys are funny. So you guys are gonna basically make me wait to get you on panels until when I get the membership and we're behind a paywall, so that you guys feel comfortable getting up on panel. Is that what it's gonna be? Come on, because I know some of y'all be hitting panels a lot, man. I know some of y'all be hitting panels a lot. Play me like this. And you guys are so smart in chat. How do you not want to come up here and give your piece? Some of the statements some of you guys make, sometimes I'll have an opinion, you guys make a statement, and it makes me totally change my opinion on some stuff. So you guys gotta get over that stuff. If I'm up here and I'm spitting in live, y'all can get up here and panel with me. Let's keep going. I'll stop harassing y'all.
Things your brain does when you don't blink much and you're looking at someone.
I know you ain't. I know Mr. Michigan ain't scared. Oh, you see Grandma in there? Darcy? Yeah, she wrapping up. She about to do the coffee thing, and then she usually does the coffee and then floats over to her mail, and then she floats to bed. That's usually how it rolls. Oh, I'm not shy, far from that. Just a while. Yeah, we'll never. Okay, Bees, at this point now, I retract the offer, Bees. Now you have to wait for memberships panels because now I'm scared. You're scared I would stalk you? Tashi! Good to see you, Tashi. Oh boy. All right, guys, let's keep rolling with this panel. Let's keep rolling with this behavior panel. But yeah, just so you guys know, though, the offer's out there. So when we're covering something, if one of y'all want to come up, speak your piece on something, you know what I mean? We'll start doing that now. We'll start adding that to the show. Because yeah, man, I mean, I don't mind lighting up all the content that we're gonna go over and then get up here saying my piece, chatting with you guys and chat and all that. But it'd be really cool if you guys start coming up on panel. That way we can get more connected. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's keep going, guys.
You're trying to take in as much information as you possibly can. I'm under the impression that his conviction of his father's innocence is where we're seeing most of these behaviors, because I think he's controlling his anger. I don't think it's going to blow up and do anything, but I mean, he's controlling the things that we would normally see with an angry person as he goes.
And you know, another reason too, I like the panel idea over the caller idea is I feel like trolls are more apt to call in, and then like with the panel, I pull you up in the studio and I can see who it is. You know what I mean? I can make sure that who is coming in is who we're gonna hear. You know what I mean? The phone call, I can't always do that. 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back, guys. I just had to answer a question real quick. But yeah, so the panel seemed like it would be safer per se. You know what I mean? I know there's the whole corn bombing and all that stuff, but if I could verify who it is before y'all come up, then I feel like the panel's safer than the phone lines. But you know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Some of y'all got more experience running shows than I do, to be honest with you, though. What are you talking about, criminal man? Bro, I get up here and like cut off shirts and curly hair flowing, just wild looking. What you talking about? No judgment up here. You haven't figured out the host of this channel and show is a redneck? Like, haven't you figured that out yet? Okay, see, Tennessee agrees with me. It's easier to verify who you're dealing with, and I feel like talking behind an avatar is pretty much the same thing as talking on a phone, right? It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, see, Mr. Michigan will hold your hand, Bees. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. We'll get you up, and he'll help us. Are you gonna be her handler then, Mr. Michigan? Is that what you're saying right now? You'll be her handler. So if she gets too wild, I could blame it on you, sir.
Goes through this because I think he was prepared and ready for it. And apparently he must be, like Greg and I were talking earlier, pretty stoic kid, because, or a guy, man, however you say it. I don't want to get slammed by calling somebody a kid when they're a man. If he's 27, I guess, does that make you a man? Yeah, I guess so. Because he's fairly stoic. He's really not, we're not seeing a whole lot of emotions from him. He's just delivering as he goes along. Now, on the other hand, there could be something wrong with him while he's doing that. But taking into consideration, it's probably just because he's trying to be a man as he's doing this, you know, trying to leave the impression that he's a strong guy emotionally. So, we good? Yeah. Yep.
One of those tape replays.
Would you say you think the police didn't do the job?
There's an awful lot of pressure on a law enforcement entity to come up with a suspect.
You said that you thought they rushed to judgment because the person who found the bodies was the easiest person to charge. Why would they want to do that to your dad?
I think it's one of those things where you have to do something. And I think that it was...
Bro, it is so hard to be serious and watch the video, right? And listen to what the video's saying so I could react to what's going on. It's so hard to do that when I look over at chat. And you guys are so damn wild. The stuff you guys say in chat is so crazy. It's so hard to hold a straight face. I can't even do it. I can't even hold a straight face with y'all.
And that's the option and the route that they decided to go with. My biggest thing that I want people to realize that there are always two sides of the story. Now they can pick which one they want to believe, but I think there's a heck of a lot that still needs to be answered about what happened on June the 2nd.
If you believe your dad's innocent, your mom and your brother's killer is out there somewhere.
That's what.
Carson! Good to see you, Miss Carson. Yep, I'm live. I'm live. This is our second live today. We ain't letting the haters slow this train. We live. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I believe.
Would he get someone else to do it?
No, ma'am. I don't think that he could be affiliated with endangering my mother and brother. I mean, we've been here for a while now, and that's been my stance.
So Are you fearful for your life if you believe the killer is still out there?
Absolutely. I think that I've set myself up to be safe. But yes, when I go to bed at night, I have a fear that there is somebody else still out there.
No, you don't. No, you don't, bro. That was you're capping, bro. You are capping. That's a straight lie, bro. You know you are safe as can be. You know ain't no killer out there coming after you. I know you want to say that because you want to believe your daddy's innocent. I know, but you know. We know that you know. We know that you know that we know that you know. You know what I mean, guys? Seriously.
All right, Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, look, you'll have seen this. That's what I believe. And then there's an adaptation in the chair. We see shoulder go up, we see knee raise. That's out of the baseline for him. Well, I think it's around this thing of believe. That's what I believe. None of that means anything is true. That's not what he has evidence for. It's just what he believes. What he could have said there is just yes. Yes.
Sam, welcome back. Welcome back, Sam. Good to see you. You just missing some good times. You know, we just doing what we do, covering some true crime, cutting up in chat. You know what I mean? I got my, I'll be doing my reactions and stuff. We just, having fun, doing what we usually do.
Would have been as good an answer. He needs to elongate the answer. He needs to give us that idea of belief, because that's what he's asking for, that will come down on his side rather than the side of the court, the evidence that was given there. And you may have issues with the evidence, and he maybe has issues with the evidence. But regardless of all that, he's asking us to believe. And believe that his father wouldn't be affiliated with endangering.
I don't think that he could be affiliated with endangering my mother and brother.
Well, that's...
But okay, so like just that statement alone is cap, bro, because like affiliated with something that would endanger them. Like the way that he said that wasn't like, oh, my dad did not kill them, I don't see how he could kill them. No, like you just said, a behavior that could endanger them. But that's a lie in itself, because all the behaviors he did, from the substance abuse and the people he was dealing with on that, the financial crimes and the people he potentially screwed over on that, he did all kinds of stuff that could have potentially brought harm to them. So to even say that in general at all it's cap, bro. You're lying. You're lying. It's not true.
Seems
and
distancing to me, because a better word would be murdering or conspiracy to murder, I would suggest. So why?
Yo, Bees, don't bring that up, man. I was just starting to feel comfortable again in this room, and you had to bring that up. Oh, man, what you doing, Bees? I legit, that whole night, guys, I felt so strange. I ain't even heard that same noise. Like, every time I hear a noise now, it's grandma, it's somebody else, my cousin or somebody. But I'm not playing, guys. That was a weird night. I digress. 4-wheel drive. Let's get back to the show.
Why the adaptation on that, the use of the word belief, the distancing there. And then there's this pronounced, I would say, locked eye contact on fear somebody else is still out there. Feels to me like he's really now trying to sell that idea. I'm not saying he doesn't believe that, because there could be all kinds of reasons that I think Chase gave really early on as to all kinds of cognitive dissonance that could go on. And I'll come up with some other theories, maybe even later on. There's all kinds of reasons why you could be a believer in this, but he's even trying to sell his belief, because I think that's what he's here for, is to sell not his side of the story.
No, Miss Donna, I know I'd be up here cutting up, Miss Donna, but like, you ain't lying. It's intense. I do stop and think, like, if he isn't like his father, if he isn't lying, if he is like completely innocent of everything, and he's not a natural born Murdaugh at heart. And like, I do put myself in this position sometimes and think, like, man, if all our speculations are wrong and this kid really doesn't have anything to do with anything, it's like, that is rough. That is rough to think about. It is rough to think about. So everybody watching, just know that all this comedy and jokes is just jokes, all right? It's just lightheartedness. But yeah, no, that's serious. That's deep. Dang, Miss Donna, why you gotta get deep on us like that?
To sell his belief in the innocence of his father, and therefore him not being, a relation, a blood relation to somebody who's done this terrible act. Because my guess is he's not decided to move towns or even countries. I mean, what a difficult move to make. I mean, many people would just go, well, I'm done in this town. I'm done in this city, done in this county. I'm done in the country. I'm going somewhere where I won't be recognized and I can start again. I don't know whether he's done that at this point. Greg, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Marky has moved. I think he was living in Charlotte when this happened. Now I heard he's living in Myrtle Beach, or not Myrtle Beach, Hilton Head. But you can't run, you can't hide, because look at him. Look, he's recognizable. You know, it's like I used to say, being a counterintelligence guy when I had all that hair was not possible. You can't hide with that hair, and you can't hide when you look like that and you've been broadcast on the news. So I agree with you there. I, however, don't believe him in this case. This is the first time I'm like, okay, now I don't believe you, because there's that dip in his body language when he does that weird thing. We're going to see it again. He does that weird thing, and then he's got a long pause before he responds. Those are two.
Criminal Bed came back in to bring us back down to earth on that one, right? Let's not forget this guy is also possibly connected to some other really bad stuff. That is true, Criminal Med. Thanks for like bringing my empathy down. I was getting a little too empathetic on that after Miss Donna made that comment. Oh, that's a good point, Criminal Med.
Flags and a deviation to his baseline. And then he goes over to left eye accessing, which he's been doing for memory in the auditory area. And as he's doing that, I wonder what he is coming up with. He's not thinking of words to say. That looks like I'm thinking of, what did we discuss? You know, this guy is not stupid. He's not going to come here unprepared. This is a smart kid. And that appeared to be that. Then he goes to, no, ma'am.
Would he get someone else to do it?
No, ma'am.
And he's Southern. We all say that to women, younger or older than us often, but he hasn't done it yet. So that's another red flag. We always say this is about clusters and buildups. This is about a cluster and a buildup for me. Then it's followed by a nonsense statement compared to what he said now. I don't think that he could be affiliated with endangering my mother and brother. I mean,
see, he's even calling that statement out. It is a nonsense statement. It's fluff. It's nothing. It's a filler. I really like these guys, man. I love the panel. They break this stuff down so awesome.
We have been here a while now, and that has been my stance. That's a long sentence.
Oh, Sam, you watch the behavior panel too? They rock, man. I use them as like a verification for like things that I'm thinking. They're one of the groups that I use for like my breakdowns, like when I'm trying to pick stuff apart by myself.
To say, no, there's no way in hell he did this. And then he's got that nervous smile, and he's adapting with his tongue at the back of his teeth. That's a lot of red flags. That's a cluster of clusters. And when you see that, now the why becomes important. Do we think he's trying to protect his dad? Is he trying to clear?
Mr. Michigan, it's called the behavior panel. The behavior panel they're a big channel. They're a big channel. They're really good. But it's because they have like high level individuals as part of their panel. So much experience.
Or something else. And then we get to the point of, when you're from a legal family, justice and the legal system are not necessarily one and the same. That's the thing to remember. I remember when I did law school, I did 1 year, I hated it. But the first thing I learned was law is not about justice. It's the legal system, not the justice system. Then the last thing he does is he tucks his chin when he's talking about he has a fear, and he's doing some short stroke nodding that he hasn't done yet that's persuasive. I don't think he does believe there's somebody else out there. I think he probably feels pretty safe. And I think whether it's on a subconscious level or on a knowledge level, I think he believes his father did this. Scott, what do you got? Or, sorry, Chase, what do you got? That big said Chase. Yeah, he was last.
Yeah, Sam, they got a bunch of really good breakdowns, a bunch of good breakdowns. And now there's other people that do this similar thing, the behavioral stuff, breakdowns. I don't just use the behavioral panel. I go to other people too. I try to float around to like all these higher level individuals for psychological breakdowns, behavioral breakdowns. Not all of them agree on the same thing. So I like to get, everybody's opinion on it. After I formulate mine though, I don't like to go look at these places until I formulate my own opinion. What I do is I use them to kind of like check where I'm at on something, if that makes sense. But these guys are definitely one of the better channels.
Chase, what do you got?
So when he says that's what I believe, That's the biggest deviation. All the stuff that Greg said. If we just look at this through the 5 C's here, there's a definite change from his normal behavior. The context is now shifted to him no longer telling a story, but about his beliefs. The clusters here, the dominant shoulder joust, this kind of right shoulder coming forward, that facial asymmetry, which I'm surprised Mark didn't jump all over.
Something for you, Chase.
Oh, thank you. Then there's also, on top of everything that Greg just said, there's a reflection almost all simultaneously. And when he's doing this, endangering my mother and brother, this is double psychological distancing and softening the severity. So instead of steal, we might say take. Instead of murder, we might say hurt. So we're seeing that here. And he's like, I have a fear there's somebody else out there. Now I think we're getting into culture. So we're seeing the same lingering head nod after a statement. So he stops talking, you still...
Exactly, Tennessee. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like when new cases or you break or a trial comes up that I'm not familiar with, I'll go look at all the news articles. I'll go look at the news clips. I'll look at any court paperwork I can get a hold of, and I'll try to formulate my opinion off of that. And then I make my rounds, like behavior panel. I mean, I need to get a list of the people that I go through to like verify my opinion, right? The way I'm looking at something. I usually go through like a full scale. There's a process when I cover stuff. There's a process that I go through. But I'm with you on that right there. Definitely with you on that. Let's see what else y'all saying. Yeah, definitely. They're good. They're definitely good. And that's the thing too, guys, is I try to make sure that whatever content we're going to cover, whatever we're going to react to and review, I try to make sure it's sound good stuff. I ain't trying to bring crap in here for us to, bad content, it doesn't do anything for us. And especially bad content creators, I don't want to do that ever. His eyes are too close together. That's Let's see what else y'all saying. Right, Miss Donna? I mean, obviously I'm not as skilled as these gentlemen, but I'm kind of like that when I go places. I'm constantly looking at people's behavior, the way they move, the way they talk, just the whole thing. If you can't tell, that's like I've said it over and over. That's why I'm in true crime, as human behavior, the human psychology. That's what I dig in all this. Okay. Let's see. Yep. It's like with true crime, I'm like that. And then like anytime I get into anything new, a new hobby or genre of something, I have to like literally deep dive and learn all about it before I join into it. I can't not know things. It drives me insane. All right, guys, let's keep rolling.
See this head nodding, it's identical. It's the same one we saw in his father, in the courtroom, in interviews, and even in the squad car video that was taken the night of the incident when he was sitting in that patrol car. When we all saw this in his father, it was right after a statement that wasn't the full truth or that he didn't really believe, and he needed some kind of social acceptance for it.
Yeah, Bees, straight up body language, your eyes, the words you choose to use, your sentence structure. There's so many things.
So whether it's unconscious or conscious, I think we're seeing the difference between wanting to hold on to a belief and having a firm belief here in this video. Scott?
All right. I won't go over the stuff you all have already gone over, except for this one thing about the shoulder. Because when she asks that question about the killer still being out there, it's not like a little shoulder shrug. Some people think it's a shrug, and it wasn't just coming out like that. Thing popped out really quickly. I think that's his limbic system engaging with that, because
Criminal med, same thing for me. Like, I haven't finished college, right? I'm just taking classes and life, you know what I mean? Having babies, it is what it is. Work's always come first. But when I was there, psychology was my jam. I loved it. I didn't realize how much I was going to love it either. I went in there, just at school, and we started getting into the psychology and stuff. And I was like, oh my Lord. Like, I don't know. I don't know why. but this stuff's so fascinating to me. I think that's why I got into serial killers first in true crime, was because of the human psychology behind it. And like, there's so many different variables that go into like the makeup, you know what I mean? The whole progression, the story arc of each one of the unalive or serial unalivers. So yeah. Anyways, I digress. Let's keep rolling.
It's almost like a jerking feeling or a look that when he goes through that. So I think it's his limbic system engaging fairly quickly. And that little jerk lets us know that there's something that he really fears. Now, what I think he really fears is he wasn't ready.
True statement, Tennessee sweetheart. True statement. He has been schooled in the Murdaugh School of Deception. His mannerisms, his vocabulary, his pauses, everything is like his father and his uncles. Like, it is straight up. He is their offspring.
To give this answer, I don't think he was ready for that. I don't think he had a prepped answer for that. He may have, but I don't know. I think he was not shocked to get that question. But I think that single little movement right there and the way he reacts, there's something up there. I don't know what it is, obviously, but something's up. All right, we good?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yo, they do what I do. Like, get in here. We got to get up in this video, bro. I need to see what's happening.
Wow, Greg just leans in, man.
One of those tape replays.
If you believe your dad's innocent, your mom and your brother's killer is out there somewhere.
That's what I believe.
Would he get someone else to do it?
That's what I believe. Do you really? Do you really, buddy? Buster?
No, ma'am. I don't think that he could be affiliated with endangering my mother and brother. I mean, we've been here for a while now, and that's been my...
He's looking at her like, please believe what I'm saying right now. Please believe this, please. I'm telling you, man.
Stands.
So, are you fearful for your life if you believe the killer is still out there?
Absolutely. I think that I've set myself up to be safe. But yes, when I go to bed at night, I have a fear that there is somebody else still out there.
A lot of people in town have come right out and said, oh, Buster was in a gay relationship with Stephen. Buster was secretly gay. All sorts of things. And they really have no proof at all. His sisters.
Now we get into the Stephen Smith stuff, guys. This is the other part. This doesn't really line up with the trial stuff that we watched earlier, but we still gonna watch it because, well, I'm vested in the Stephen Smith case too, because I've been following that on this channel as well. Anytime there's significant updates, I jump on and give updates on it. So we gotta watch this part. Let's roll.
Said someone approached her and said that you and Stephen were romantically involved. His brother says that someone approached him and says that you were with a group of young men who beat him with a baseball bat.
Yo, Carson coming in hot over here. Carson coming out making strong statements. Just came and said hi, and the next thing I know after the highs is Buster was 100% secretly gay. I agree with you. I think something was going on. I think Buster's a little light in loafers, to be honest with you. I ain't gonna lie. I really do. I think he got a little, his dad was, let's be honest, his dad was a freak, right? I mean, part of that money was going to the ladies of the night, right? So maybe old Bussy Buzz, he liked dad, but he just goes the other way. You know what I mean? It's a possibility. Carson, why'd you have to get me started on that?
What do you say to that? To both of those?
Absolutely baseless rumors.
Yo, no, look, in a small town like that with that type of powerful family and just the way things are back there, you know what I mean? At that point in time, like the whole possibility of him being a part of that. So I really believe Murdaugh has something to do with that. I do. I'm with you, Carson. I believe they're involved in it. I really do. Otherwise, it's like, for me on this, right, with the Stephen Smith stuff, it's if there was no Murdaugh involvement or some type of like degree of separation where they're involved, right? How did they reopen the investigation on Stephen Smith as they're investigating the Murdaugh murders? Like, why did that happen if they're not connected in some way? That's what I'm thinking on it. You know what I mean? Let me see what else y'all was saying. That was so funny though, Carson. Yeah, you got me laughing on that one. That's let's see. Criminal man. I do. I'm with you on it, Carson. I believe that too. So Kathy with us on that too. Don't say that, Donna. We don't need him out here with us until we leave California. Then he could come out here. But yeah, he fit right up in the Bay Area, huh, Miss Donna? He'd love the Bay Area. It'd be just right for him. Nah, bro, that's real uncomfortable for me, man. That's real uncomfortable something like that. I get you. I get you, and I get you. No, that's what I'm saying, criminal man. They opened that case up real quick. So it was like, man, yeah. What the hell? I got Mr. G. Brooks in my chat. I got Mr. G. Brooks in the chat. Mr. G. Brooks, good to see you here. Good to see you here. It's the first time seeing you here. But appreciate it, brother. Cluster buster, huh? Yo. Man, chat gonna get real lit with G. Brooks in here. This gentleman is a funny man. What else y'all saying? I was thinking condo on Mars. Right, move that boy out of here, man. Get that boy out of here. On the list. Bro, you guys got me dead in here right now. No, I know. The last time I checked, on the updates on the Stephen Smith case, they had like 5 names that they were milling over. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see what happens with it. Yep. I mean, what we do know, right, is they are for sure that he was unalived, right? This ain't no hit and run. This was an unaliving. Right, Miss Donna? But come on, right? Either area of work. Oh, he does, man. All right, guys, let's keep going, man. You're gonna keep me laughing. We're gonna be here all night.
I unequivocally deny anything that you just read off of that piece of paper.
I unequivocally deny it.
I did not have any personal, intimate relations with Stephen.
Yo, he just almost said it like Bill Clinton, bro. He almost said it just like Bill Clinton. I did not have relations with it. Bro, Buster, you should have used a different phrase, man. You set yourself up on that one, Bus. You set yourself up on that one, bro. Come on. He did, guys. He did. Did he not just sound like Bill Clinton? My guy.
And that obviously cannot be proven.
Shit, his family just as corrupt as the Clintons too. My bad. I didn't say that. I'm not ever gonna unalive myself. I didn't say that. My bad.
Because it is baseless. I never had anything to do with his murder, and I never had anything to do with him on a physical level of any regard.
Where were you the night that Stephen Smith was killed?
Oh, wait. This is good, guys. Listen to this. Listen to this part. Where was he? And who was he with?
The night Stephen was killed, I was at our Edisto Beach house.
With your family?
With my mom and my brother.
The 2 people that ain't alive no more. They can't even verify that no more. So he was somewhere with 2 people that no longer on this earth. But we got to believe old Bus. We better believe old Bus. He didn't have nothing to do with it. He never had no relations with that young man.
Given everything you're going through, what did you feel like when you heard that this thing was surfacing again?
Well, it's a lot like this. And you know, I don't want to be rude here, but have you ever been accused of murdering somebody?
No.
How do you ask somebody like that? Yo, Bus is funny. He's good comedy content, guys. He's good reaction content. You know what I mean? I know this is true crime and serious, but Buster is comedy gold. For anybody who likes to react to videos, he is comedy gold. Did you see like that? I can't with this guy. Let's keep going.
Well, let me tell you, this is very, 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 very. It's a terrible thing.
Bro, I love that too. When somebody's like, it's very, 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 commit to that very, and then they just completely switch it up with like a whole other sentence, and you're like, what the hell? Where are you going, bro?
Place on somebody with absolutely no fact. I mean, it has harmed my reputation. I mean, people perceive me as a murderer.
All right, I'll go first on this one. For me, this is where everything changed.
Bro, all I'm saying is if you all don't really understand how very, very seriously serious all this stuff is seriously serious, if you don't understand that, I don't know what you learned here today on this live.
And all bets are off. Because I'm seeing red flags and your little whistles go off everywhere. His blink rate goes way up. He scrunches his torso together. He's kind of leaned forward and all that. And after his statement about being romantically involved, then we see stress mouth real big. And then we see that quick little head nod forward and he freezes. Now, when she says baseball bat, his head tilts back about 2 inches. And then he says nothing. And I'm seeing what looks like, and I got to be careful of this, but it looks to me like Duper's Delight. Everybody always says I can see Duper's Delight. I'm telling you, man, I went back and forth on this. I'll put a little freeze frame of it up here. Looks like that cat's smiling. It looks like somebody just told him, like he just washed his car, and they're like, wow, the car looks great. And he's like that. Or he cut his own hair, and they're like, yeah, it looks great. He's like, yeah, I got this. That's the look he has on his face. So that really bothers me. And then before he says anything, he takes that really, really deep inhale there. And I'm sure the answer that he gives right after that is something his lawyer said. Here's what you say, and say it just like this.
Baseless rumors. I unequivocally deny anything that you just read off of that piece of paper.
Because baseless? When's the last time you heard somebody?
Dude, that boy 100% talks like his daddy and his uncles. He was raised by lawyers, right? He cannot help but to sound like a lawyer, which makes it even harder to believe anything that comes out of his mouth. So you sound like a lawyer and your last name is Murdaugh. I really can't believe you. It is what it is. Thank you, bees. Thank you. Let me see what else y'all saying in the chat. You call it the Moselle Shake in the North Kakalaki. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, G Brooks. Bro, you funny. You came to the right place. That's all what we do. We cover true crime and we cut up. Right, Tennessee. Oh man. Okay. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going before I get distracted with some of the side conversations.
Baseless, or that's baseless. Last time we heard that, I can't remember who the guy was, but he was busted for doing it. Whatever it was, he was guilty. I can't remember. It was in a couple of presidential elections back. And then when she asks where he was and who he was with, the only two people.
Right. The only difference between Buster's word salad and other people's word salad is like other people's word salads are using like, iceberg lettuce and stuff. And Buster over here using the chard and, the expensive greens. But it's all the same salad. You know what I mean? It all tastes like booty.
Can vouch with it for him are murder victims themselves, his brother and his mother. So that's who he was with during that when this kid was supposedly murdered. And he actually says murder in this, which he said had nothing to do with the murder. That's the thing that goes sideways for me in here, because usually when someone did something, they won't call it murder. I had nothing to do with that. And they'll scoot all around it. But he does say murder. Shit, so that's the only thing that goes against what I'm leaning into so hard here, is when he actually says the word murder and all that. And this could be those situations where it's like father, like son, and he would not have much of a problem doing something like that. I don't think so. I don't see that kind of stuff on him, but you never know. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, look, he doesn't do himself any favors, does he, in this particular thing? I unequivocally deny anything that you read of that piece of paper. It's like anything, you're a nice guy. If I read that, will you unequivocally deny that? I mean, it should be everything that you read, not anything. So, I mean, that's a great piece of spin, the idea of look, just go out there and deny anything, just anything that goes on. Which brings me back, I think, to Scott. Look, I think this is, again, reputation management. And reputation management done badly can look worse on you than not managing that reputation. And I think, you know, this might be an example of it. Look, here's how you tell the truth or how you manage your reputation really well. Have you ever been accused of murdering someone?
Have you ever been accused of murdering somebody?
No. Bro, like I'm dead on that one. That one right there is like, he flipped a switch, bro. Like something flipped in him. Have you ever been accused of murdering someone? What the hell? Did you hear the reporter too? She was bewildered, bro. Like she was like, what?
No. Just listen to her voice. Listen, that is the voice of truth. I will literally eat my own arm if she's ever been accused of murdering somebody. Yeah, that she knows of. That she knows. That, I mean, you know, you can't make me eat my arm by, you know, in private accusing her of murdering somebody right now and go, well, I did it just now, Mark. So I seen you coming on that one. Seen you coming way early on that one there. So I will eat my own arm, which wouldn't be an interesting thing to do. I don't know how I'd cook it.
I like Mark. Mark's got jokes. I like Mark.
You know how I'd. You know,
what was it? With mushrooms. With mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Yeah. I was going to say what the mushroom lady made.
Whether I'd use my watch arm or my non-watch arm, who knows? Who knows? I wish I'd never said that now. It's leading down a very odd path. Chase, what do you got on this one?
I'll eat your arm.
Thank you. That's much easier. Good. The bet's on.
I'll make it easy. So I think there are some clusters here of stress about the topics, but I don't think the clusters are big enough to indicate deception. In my opinion, there's a relaxed jaw, fluid speech, direct denial, comfortable saying victim's name, comfortable saying murder, naturally timed responses, no eye closure at all, which are his baseline. And Scott, I will just say somebody who says baseless is the son of an attorney.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
That's no joke.
Which could be possible. And I'm not saying that's some definitive thing, but that's culture. That gets to the culture part of that. And maybe he grew up hearing all of that stuff. And I guarantee you he heard his parents arguing, and I guarantee that's how his dad argued with his mom, with this kind of litigatory, I just made that word up, frame of voice where all of this stuff.
Mr. G. Brooks, I'll have you up on the next one, brother. We're trying to get through this, and then I gotta wrap it up soon. We're rolling up on 3 hours plus on this live stream, and your boy got work real early in the morning, so I'm not trying to drag this out too much longer. But I would like to have you up on the next one for sure, because you funny, my guy. You a funny dude. You fit in right here.
I'll be like, that is baseless.
I
can't keep going on.
This gaslighter to the max, man.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's baseless, inflammatory, derogatory, assuming facts not in evidence. You don't know that to be true. So maybe he grew up hearing that stuff. Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, the reason you don't trust him, and I agree with you, Mark, he does himself no favors, but I also agree with you, Chase, I don't think it's out of guilt. I think he does himself no favors because he comes in prepared, and he's negotiating what he's willing to respond to, like Mark negotiating him eating his own arm after I declined. He's working through all the details of it, and he sounds a hell of a lot like Bill Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And he says words almost like that about having a physical relationship with the guy.
I never had anything to do with his murder, and I never had anything to do with him on a physical level of any regard.
In the beginning, that single nod down, Scott, I think when he does single nod down and that's that at his lips, that's his dad saying, take in the argument before you speak.
I agree with that, Mr. Michigan. I agree with that. I'm very familiar with Mr. G. Brooks. I have been in plenty of chats and watched him panel. He's a funny dude.
That's what I taught my kid. Listen to everything they got to say and then take their argument apart. That's the way I taught my kid. And if you do that, what you know is their whole outline, and you can just take it to pieces and they have nothing left to stand on. So all you do is nod and say, I got it. I took the data in. His blink rate went up at the brother. That was the interesting piece. When the brother came up of the kid, and this is a sad story. This kid's found on the road dead. and God knows what happened to him. But the blink rate goes up when he says brother. I wonder if there's some evidence of something, not saying he killed this kid, but something in there that caused this to happen. Then he quieted as he heard the baseball bat, talk about the baseball bat. So that's why I thought maybe it had nothing to do with the baseball bat, because then he gets contained. Then he goes that baseless rumors. He does that nervous smile. I think the nervous smile.
I don't know. I think Carson's right, man. I think my boy, you know what I mean? You know, you guys know what I mean. I think he was a little light in the loafers. But man, he ain't joking though. There was like something in that response. There's something there. So, okay, most of you guys in the chat were saying like you're not really sure he did it, but man, I don't know. I'm not saying that he did it, but I don't know. I just the rumors, man. The rumors really get me.
I'm prepared for this. I expected this. Remember, like you said, Mark, he's coming there for some kind of maintenance of his image. And all he's been doing is defending against being guilty by association up to now. Now it's about him.
So I'll tell you, like, honestly, that's what I think. I think that he had some type of something going on with him. I'm not saying it was like long-term, maybe it's just like a one-time thing. But I don't know. I just feel like Alec and the uncles found out and something happened. That's how I feel, man. I just... Even though it's a small town and maybe, you know, people ain't into that type of deal there, I just don't see like a random group of people just finding this kid and running him down on a back road or doing what they might have done to him. I feel like there had to have been a reason, not just hating on some kid that was, you know, different. I feel like there had to be a more serious reason for somebody to do that. I mean, but I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong. I don't know.
You see that single shoulder shrug and then that qualifier at anything you read off that piece of paper. There's Mark saying, unless you do it in the back room. That's the whole thing. Anyway, he's just so much like Clinton that I did not have intimate physical relations with Stephen. And it cannot be proven because it's baseless. There's a whole lot of stuff here that makes us feel uncomfortable, but he's pretty calm at the accusation. He's saying I didn't do it, and he talks like a lawyer. I agree with you, Chase. And I think raised by parents who talk like lawyers, you're probably going to talk like one yourself. That's all I got.
Do you guys get the feeling this guy knows more than he's saying about that situation?
Don't know. Look, people can make all kinds of accusations about sexuality in those small towns, especially. You know, if there's a young gay kid and this other kid, there's all kinds of things that can happen. And there could be nuanced pieces to the story that he knows something about that, and he would still have that same kind of guilty knowledge.
Yeah, I think
knowledge of the kid dying, right?
Yeah, yes.
That's a good point too. I didn't really think about it that way either. Is like, I mean, they could know. Maybe they don't have nothing to do with it, but they know because they know so much that happens in that town. Interesting. That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, nothing to do with gay or anything, but I mean, he knows I think he knows something he's not. Either he knows who did it. Something like that. I think he's holding stuff back.
No, in Tennessee, that's why I'm so adamant about them having something to do with this at some level, the Murdaughs, because they interjected themselves in this case so damn fast at every level and manipulated the family, you know, with like, you know, claiming that they were going to be attorneys for them and look out for them. So, yeah, that's why I'm with that. I'm with that. They had something to do with it, in my opinion. Lindley, you think Paul? Out of all the family members, I mean, if you think about how belligerent he was, like, I mean, he probably has the capability of doing it if he ain't too stumbling drunk. Thank you, Miss Carson. Definitely, if y'all got a case you want me to cover, shoot me that email. Let me know what's up. You can ask around the chat. I get to it pretty quick. You guys, anytime you guys shoot me anything, you can become priority. Like what you guys request becomes priority. So definitely shoot me that. True, right? Very true, criminal men. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep rolling.
Well, or he thinks he knows who's
right,
done.
That's the key.
I mean, you know, that's you know, or he believes he knows, like he believes his dad didn't do it. You know, so yeah.
And Chase, is that one of our things to drink out of, or did you put the sticker on the cup?
No, this is in the behavior panel store.
Okay.
As is this beautiful mug.
Yo, fucking merch hardcore. That's what I'm
This
talking
one
about.
keeps it cold or hot. The question we're not selling, we're just showing.
One of those tape replays.
A lot of people in town have come
Yo, he was a little bit thick right there, man. My boy was looking healthy.
right out and said, oh, Buster was in a gay relationship with Steven. Buster was secretly gay. All sorts of things. And they really have no proof at all.
His sister said someone approached her and said that you and Steven were romantically.
Welcome back, Miss Sassy. Of course, we're still here, man. My lives have pretty much been consistently about 3 hours. Regardless if I want to make them shorter or not, we just seem to hit that 3 hour mark pretty dang easy. And we could probably push into some serious hours, but, I ain't going to torture all like that.
Involved. His brother says that someone approached him and says that you were with a group of young men who beat him with a baseball bat. What do you say to that? To both of those?
Absolutely baseless rumors. I unequivocally deny anything that you just read off of that piece of paper. I did not have any personal intimate relations with Steven, and that obviously cannot be proven because it is baseless. I never had anything to do with his murder, and I never had anything to do with him on a physical level of any regard.
Where were you the night that Steven Smith was killed?
The night Steven was killed, I was at our Edisto Beach house.
With your family?
With my mom and my brother.
Yeah, he was at Edisto Beach House, not the other property that was closer. He was definitely at Edisto, and he was definitely with the two family members that are deceased and can't vouch for that at this point in time now. Yeah, that's what he's saying. You know what I mean?
Given everything you're going through, what did you feel like when you heard that this thing was surfacing again?
Well, it's a lot like this, and I don't want to be rude here, but have you ever been accused of murdering somebody?
No.
Well,
I'm never going to get over that, bro. That's like one of the most epic statements in an interview ever. Like, way to flip the script. And her response to me, like, every time I hear this, and her response is like, you could tell she's like, what the hell? Did you just ask me that?
This is very, 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 very. It's a terrible thing to place on somebody with absolutely no fact. I mean, it has harmed my reputation. I mean, people perceive me as a murderer.
So what do you got?
All right, guys, that's it. That is it. That is all I got for us lined up tonight. I'm sure I could sit up here and pull up all kinds of crap we can go over. But, 3 hours is probably a good amount of live. And your boy got to get ready for work in the morning. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the live. I appreciate everybody for being here. Replay gang, if you made it this far, you guys rock. Leave me some comments down at the bottom. And everybody that's live here, let me hear you guys. Actually, let's see if you guys can go beat the replay gang. Go say live gang, live crew. Leave me some comments, man, so I can talk to you all. But let me catch up with chat before I wrap it up, though. Let me make sure we're good. Very, very. And that's another thing I want to cover. Just make sure that you guys know that this stuff is very, very, very serious. And I seriously mean that this is very serious, all right? And I hope that you guys understand that after this live. I really do. All right, cool. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I'll do that usual freaking 30-minute goodbye to you all. All right. I appreciate all the love, all the support today, especially earlier in the day when we did our first live. We had to deal with a little bit of the drama. I appreciate all the love, guys. I really do. All the support. Thanks for cranking out the watch hours for me. We're so close to being memberships open, like so close. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. And yeah, it's your boy, the Real Piscine Predator, aka TPP, baby. Till next video, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.